Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 107 of the ItsObviousGaming podcast. I'm your host, Preston Pugh, and I'm joined by my two best friends, Garrett Drake.
Hello, Preston, and hello, Jacob. It's good to be here.
And Jacob Alka.
Hello, Garrett. Hello, Preston. It's good to be here.
It is good to be here, Jacob. I'm glad to have two of my buddies by my side to talk some video games here.
As always.
Gentlemen, how's your Saturday been so far?
Let's hear from you, Jacob.
It's been good. It's been a pretty regular week for me. Lots of work, like I always say, but you got to make that money, you know.
Yes.
Had a good thing happen this week. I am on the last 2 days of Persona, meaning like the last 2 calendar days in the game. And
okay.
I felt like the game was going to end several times, but it just didn't. It went on forever, but I'm glad it did because it was definitely a memorable ending for sure.
Yeah.
So
they pull a few switcheroos on you.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't expect like any of the last hour of the game.
Yeah. Apparently it's common treaded ground in Persona. Like I think all the games kind of ultimately end like this one. So I've heard, but this being like my first Persona that I've actually gotten to the end, it surprised me at least.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with the game. Not sure if we'll do like a spoiler talk or anything.
You guys could do one. I think it'd be pretty cool if you did.
Right. But you're nowhere near finishing the game,
no.
Right?
And if I'm being honest, I probably will never finish it. If I were to have time to finish it, it won't be.
You were so excited for the game.
Yeah, no, it literally won't be years. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It will be years before I have time to go back to that game. Not only because of the other games we have coming out, but just because of everything going on in my life. I have no choice but to skip it for now.
There's not a lot going on right now.
There is not in video games, but
that's what I mean,
in my work life, it's nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first break I've had just talking to you guys, which is wonderful. But anything else going on in your life, Jacob?
Not really. No, I spent most of the week working and I played Persona, and I'm glad it's not that I'm glad that I'm done, but I'm glad I can move on to other things. Being the first thing being Zelda. I'm very excited to start that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to get into that too. That's awesome.
I'm super excited.
Very
But
cool.
How about you guys? How was your weeks?
How about you, Preston?
Oh, it was fine. I would like to reiterate just really quick that if you are if you listen to this show regularly, please check us out on iTunes and subscribe and leave a rating. Even if you don't listen to us on iTunes, just subscribing to us helps us out a ton. And if you listen to us anywhere else and enjoy the content, please come to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. I'll probably reiterate that later, but I just kind of want to put that at the beginning here just to put it fresh in people's minds because it does help us out tremendously.
We'd love to land on that new and noteworthy page.
Yes, that has always been a goal of ours. I'm actually surprised we haven't made it there yet. Maybe new and noteworthy happens when reviews, ratings, and subscriptions all come in at once, whereas ours have been kind of sporadic. But regardless, all of you that have taken the time to do so, it means the world to us. We can't thank you enough. Also, something we should throw in there at the beginning that we always forget: we do have time code. I couldn't decide if I wanted to say time codes or time stamps. I've heard both. I call them time codes, but we have time stamps. If that's the term you're familiar with, for all of the topics we discuss every single week in both the YouTube description and the iTunes and Spotify descriptions, depending on where you listen. So if you don't want to hear us talk about something, you can skip around for your listening pleasure.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll try and figure out a way to kind of do this at the beginning because if you sit through our long conversations that often involve pooping and stuff, and you might not understand we are a gaming podcast, and you can skip to that part.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, my week was fine. I had a few days off this week. And I was able to finally platinum Prey.
Ooh,
I was able to put that back up on the shelf and move on to other things. Really fun game. We discussed it briefly during lunch, but like Dishonored, the other Arcane game I played, I very much enjoyed this game on my second and third playthrough.
Third playthrough? I didn't know you had to do 3 times.
Yeah, if I kind of maneuvered with the system too, whereas there's a trophy where you have to beat the game only using alien powers and then beat it again only using human powers. So and then there's
Define human powers.
Human power is like hacking,
flushing a toilet,
exactly,
walking, talking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, shooting a gun, all the human things.
Yeah, all the powers we humans possess.
Exactly, and apparently we possess a combat power which slows down time.
Really,
and, you're able to accurately shoot and dodge
you're
things.
right, yeah.
Well, this game takes
Yeah.
place in the future, so we haven't developed that skill yet as humans.
Exactly.
It's actually a
not too
sixth
far
sense
into the
that we're all
future.
sort of
It's like
developing.
2034.
That's good news. So we'll be alive when we get this power.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
It's exciting.
There's a trophy called No Needles where you have to beat the game with no powers whatsoever. That was pretty challenging. This game is pretty challenging even on easy difficulty, and that definitely made it harder. My guns were doing literally no damage, so that playthrough consisted of me just running around like a scared lunatic. But upon beating that, I reloaded the save before the game ended and bought one alien power.
Did you?
And then beat the game. But I couldn't do that again for a human power because it wouldn't work, so I had to just play through the entire game with only human powers. So I beat it 3 times. If you didn't do that little trick, minimum is 3 playthroughs. But I wanted to have one playthrough where I just play it just how I want to play it. But in terms of the point I was making about Arcane, I enjoyed Dishonored, both Dishonored's my second and third playthroughs as well. Just knowing the environment and knowing like the little shortcuts and stuff, it just makes the game funner being able to like go through these environments, knowing all the tricks and stuff. I enjoy figuring them out, but you just feel way more badass like knowing where you're going and stuff. I don't know. I just think it's funner. But it's a fun game. It has its problems, and I think a majority of them are in the combat. The combat could have been a little bit better. The enemy variety is kind of lacking a little bit. Just my combat encounters consisted of me using one alien power, just stun them from using their powers, and then I just run up and just blow their head off with my shotgun. But I'm not really sure that's not what I look forward to the most in that game. It was exploring Talos 1 and meeting the people that lived there and helping them out or killing all of them, depending on what you want to do. Just exploring the space station was really fun, and the soundtrack's great. The graphics are pretty cool. Like I said, the voice acting is really good. The characters are really cool, and the story is definitely fascinating. The ending, they pulled one over on me, and you could. It's one of those games like you'll go through like these little flashback things, and you're like, "What the heck does that mean?" But then at the end, it makes sense, and as you play through it again, things become more clear. Like, oh, that's what this means. Blah blah blah. Because the ending is, pretty cool. So yeah, I recommend it if you like Arcane. I guess give it a shot. But upon completing that, I was looking at my collection of games and was wondering what I wanted to go into next. And immediately, the first thing that popped into my head was Nier Automata. I've heard nothing but great things about that game, and I started reading some more reviews. I mean, I know it was critically received well, but I was just going through them again just to see if it piqued my interest anymore, and it definitely did. Funny story, I Amazoned the Nier Automata, just the game, to see how much it was. It's still $59.99, and I literally put in the search engine Nier Automata. That's it. Game popped up. Below that game was like Mass Effect Andromeda. Below that game was a few other games. And I'm scrolling down the page, and lo and behold, on the front page, under the Amazon Prime listing, is a life-size body pillow of the main character 2B with tits and all hanging out.
So you're talking about what's her name? Like
2B.
2B, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you said the main character 2B. I thought you meant like the main character 2B in this game.
Her name
I
is
remember
2B.
her name's 2B now. What's the other guy's name in the game?
It's a G6.
Yeah, G6.
Like a G6?
Like a G6.
Okay, that's actually his full name, like a G6.
It's like 9S, I think, maybe?
I think you're right.
I don't know.
Like
It's
that.
something like that. But yeah, full on a body pillow of her, completely butt naked.
No way.
Yeah, able to Amazon Prime. Right
Are
to my
there
house.
holes?
I think I have a friend that might enjoy that, so I might. If you can send me the link, I'd like to prime.
Oh
it
yeah,
for him.
sure. I could
That's
just
so nice of you.
I could just order it for him and just give it to him when I see him.
Cool.
If you want.
Could I like see the pillow? Just check it out.
Let's just pull it up right now. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I just put in the game, and literally on the same page halfway down is this just fully nude, very suggestive picture of the main character on a pillow that you could buy and I'm assuming sleep with and stuff.
Assuming sleep with.
Assuming
Unless you
that's
have
what
any
you do
other
with it.
plans for the pillow.
I'll let you know next week what you actually are supposed to do.
Yeah, Preston's going to beta test it for us. and
Yeah,
give
make
us
sure
his
you read those
review.
instructions.
I'll give my first. We'll do a first impression.
That'd be such a funny review of like reviewing the Nier Automata body pillow.
Absolutely. But yeah, the game looks really cool. I'll probably pick it up eventually. I did want to see if there was anything in my collection I would like to play before I bought something else. So I keep eyeballing Metal Gear Solid 5 because I've said numerous times on the podcast.
Are you going to start over?
That is my game. That's what it should be my game. This open world, plays amazingly, stealth game. Like that's if I were to, if somebody sat me down and was like, hey, make a game, I essentially would probably make this game. It has everything that I would want in a game, but it just never hooks me for some reason. So I did start over because I loaded up one of my saves and I'm, balls deep in it. I don't understand what's going on. I forgot what the GMP, the points and the bases and all the resources. I forgot all of that crap. I forgot what was going on.
I'll never forget the opening of that game. It's a good opening.
It is a cool opening. So I played through that again. That actually took me 2 days just to play through the opening because I had like no time in this pretty lengthy opening. But just last night I got out into the open world and I did like 8 story missions, and it finally got me on the last mission. I was having like flashbacks to me initially playing it the first time, and like I was just talking about Dishonored, it's really it's funner just like knowing the environment and being able to like sneak in and like do something really cool. And that's pretty much what happened. Is I remembered this level from playing it the first time, and I was able to sneak in and like grab this guy and get out without anybody seeing me, and it was just a lot of fun. So that final, up until that point, I was having fun, but it was still kind of like when I tried to play it initially, it just wasn't really hooking me. So it put its claws deeper into me, that the last mission that I was on. So we'll see if it hooks me. If not, I'm probably just going to buy Nier Automata at some point. And Lord knows what I'll play after that, because up until, I don't know, Zelda DLC or... I don't know. We'll talk about in our main discussion what exactly is coming up, but there's nothing really here for the next month or two.
So don't look past ARMS.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm wanting Metal Gear to grab me because I would like to platinum it, and it is a very, very lengthy game, especially to platinum, like close to 200 hours from what I've been looking at. So this definitely would keep me occupied up until August, where stuff starts trickling out. So that's essentially what I did this week, unless I'm just forgetting something minuscule. But how about you, Garrett?
Well, before I go, I was going to say I share your sentiments towards Metal Gear. I mean, I'm pretty sure I beat the game because credits rolled for me twice. I think that's when you beat it, because credits roll. I mean, the credits roll a few times when you beat like the certain portions of the game. I think the acts of the game. But I'm pretty sure I beat it because I was never assigned another mission after that. So I guess I beat it.
I know the twist. Do you know what that is?
I can't remember. I mean, it's been so long. I mean, I was not really invested in the story at all. I mean, I loved the gameplay because I remember several months ago I had mentioned I also went back to it briefly. I was trying to S-rank all the missions I completed, and that completely made it a brand new experience for me. Because of course you can play your way, and like you said, I feel the same way when it comes to stealth games, especially knowing the areas you're going into is always more enjoyable. So once you've played through the game once entirely and played all these missions at least a couple of times, S-ranking them is a ton of fun. All the challenges they present you with make you play in ways you either prefer not to, or challenge you in ways that you're not comfortable with. Did you poot over there, Jacob?
No, it's just my phone.
I know.
It sounded like a good poot.
I knew it was the chair, but I was going to say I'd make a good poot. But what were we talking about Metal Gear? I was going to ask you, without spoilers, are there any moments specifically in gameplay that stick out to you from Prey that you'll remember?
That I'll remember?
Yeah, because there's moments in games that I play where small gameplay moments where I'm like, I'll remember that sometimes over than a story beat or something. Like a funny or cool experience you had. Like, for example, when I was playing Skyrim for the first time, when I went into that random cave and fell through the trapdoor into a cage, and that guy was like, I'm going to kill you. That was one of the coolest experiences to me in a game. So, I mean, I could say 100.
Yeah, you can do that in VR.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited.
Switch. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for VR. Not really. I mean, there were definitely cool moments that had to do with, especially in my No Powers playthrough, where I had to get into a room, or I had to like, for instance, the morph ability where I could turn myself into a coffee cup or whatever and like roll through a little opening to get into a room. Not having powers, it definitely made me think or have to explore more to get into a particular area. So I like used my glue gun in like really creative ways. Like, for instance, there's one part you have to go like down to, you're in the power plant of Talos 1. You have to go down to this reactor, and 2 telepaths, I think that's what they're called, they come in and they are super hard to kill, especially if you have no powers. And I had to ascend this giant room to get back up to the top, and going back the way I came was literally impossible. So I was just thinking, I was like, oh crap, what do I do? I saw one of those elevators and I ran up to it, and you have to repair it, and I can't invest in a repair skill. So I was just like, oh, what do I do? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, I have the glue gun. So I got in the elevator and just like shot on the wall, jumped, and then like bounced up through the entire elevator and just bypassed all the enemies. So that's probably a cool moment that I might, who knows if I'll remember that. But I remember that being like an aha moment that I was able to outsmart, not like outsmart, like, oh, the developers didn't think of that. I think the developers intended for you to do things like that with the glue gun.
Yeah.
So that was probably the coolest moment that I had, that I felt like a genius getting past that part. So
excellent. Yeah, it's always funny to get through a portion of a game that when you do realize that I'm probably not supposed to be able to do this, but you find a way anyway. I've had those moments.
The speed runs for Prey are insane with the glued gun. They're like, I mean, this is completely different than what I was talking about, getting up an elevator. They're like they're like jumping through like ceilings and stuff because of the glue gun. Like the glue gun completely breaks everything, being able to like jump wherever you want to go and stuff. But it is really cool that they give you something so early on in the game, which allows you to pretty much, for the most part, traverse to any area you want to within reason in the game. So yeah,
it's cool. I hope I have time for that one at some point too.
It's not long. Like it really isn't that long. Okay. My first playthrough took me like 30 hours, but I was very thorough, like exploring everywhere. Me just going through the main story, kind of knowing what was going on, took me like 5 hours.
Okay, see, that's the thing about me, though. When I play games just like that, I want to invest into it as much as possible and get as much out of that world as I possibly can. Otherwise, I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, well, even like I said, me taking my absolute time, meticulously going through everything and exploring and doing those side quests, it was like 30 hours, which is long, but it's not like Persona long hours.
Yeah, it's funny because I have such little time for games these days that 30 hours would basically mean 30 weeks for me to beat a game. I only had about an hour to play games this week, and
that makes me so sad.
Yeah, with actual free time, I had about literal hours. One night, I started nicking away at some Battlefield 1 sniper gameplay for the next Super 6 Sniper Skills Volume 2, Battlefield 1 Edition. Some fun gameplay for sure, but I only had an hour, so that's all I had this week. But other than that, I just...
Are you getting that the DLC? Do you have the...
No, I'm
premium?
not. Okay. Yeah, you have to buy the whole premium pass, which sucks.
Oh, you do?
It's like $60.
Oh, dang.
There's a lot of DLC, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it's 50, but I don't have time to play games anyway.
Jay, he did it, and he's playing the DLC. He likes it a lot.
Cool.
I did enjoy that game. It's fun.
Never played it.
No, dude, it's awesome. Every time I go back to it, the multiplayer is so fantastic. So I've been having fun with it, or I had fun with the hour I spent with it. But other than that, just working and going to school nonstop. So that's what I'm doing after this. Hopefully I won't be late this week like last week. Thankfully, I still have my job. I actually was surprisingly not chewed out like I was expecting to be.
Oh, wow.
So it just happened to be a more relaxed evening at the local jazz club. So I got away with it this time, but I don't know about today, so I definitely got to be there on time. But,
cool. Sounds good.
But yeah, my life is consumed by work every 5 seconds, and my 1 hour of free time was bliss. And this is technically free time too, talking to you guys, so it's good.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I mentioned last week when I came back from E3, it's like, oh, LA was nice and everyone we encountered was friendly and everyone said it was dangerous and blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that it's not quite as friendly and safe as I made it out to be because one of the gentlemen I work for had stayed a little longer in the city to hang out with some friends for an extra week, I believe. And he said on the last night he was leaving the house we were staying at and there was like a gang of like 5 or 6 dudes just waiting on him outside.
Really?
And they confronted him, and long story short, they basically were going to rob him, but somehow he diffused the situation, and they let him go, because I think, long story short, they said, oh, you've disrespected our neighborhood, and you shouldn't be here and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't mean any disrespect, blah, blah, blah. He didn't tell us the full conversation, but essentially they let him go, but they followed him for about a mile as he walked all the way to the convention center where he wasn't even supposed to go. He was going to meet a friend elsewhere, but just so he could get to a public, safe area, he walked all the way to the convention center. They followed him all the way there until they left him alone.
Wow.
So I was like, my goodness. I was like, it sucks because when we were rolling about 5 or 6 of us deep, of course, no one would bother us. But as soon as he's by himself, some dudes came to mess with him. So I was like, that's so terrible.
That's awful.
But I thought that was funny how last week I was like, oh, everyone was really friendly. Like days later, he's like, yeah, I almost got robbed. It was funny.
Got lucky.
Yeah, I have nothing else going on in my life. In school, I'm literally painting colorful squares for an art project.
That sounds awesome.
I'm mixing paints. It's a color theory class. It is a profound waste of my time.
Hey, what's the coolest color you've mixed so far, dude?
Probably blue-violet. It's kind of a cool shade. It's what I would call purple, but technically it's blue-violet. If you want to be...
For the cultured people, it's
exactly.
blue-violet. Yeah.
So
Us commoners call it purple.
Right.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I'm taking a sound design class, which is incredibly redundant for me. It's our first class we went into. And it's funny because I'm not required to take it. I could take something else, but it's either I take that or I take something else that I don't need. So I'm like, I might as well do something that's easy. I was having major flashbacks to my first days in music school when my first classmate teacher goes, so we're going to be using a software called Pro Tools in here. And he goes, I'm going to show you how to open it up and try to show you the basics today. And I was like, this is hilarious.
Oh, man.
Having that shows how easy it'll be, which I'm thankful for. I don't have to worry about like studying really hard in there. But color theory, even though I'm coloring squares, it could present its challenges because I am very hindered when it comes to painting. I'm not talented at all.
Nice. That'd be so cool if you could like opt out of that class. You just like show them you're literally like, are you like licensed to use it or what do you have?
Yeah, well, I have the certification in it, but the thing is originally I thought, oh, if you can prove that you can pass a class without actually taking it, they can give you a test and you can take it and you can not have to take that class, but you still have to replace that credit with something else, which originally I thought they'd just give me the credit if I already know how to do it, but that's actually not the case. So I might as well just take it anyway.
Gotcha.
But yep, that's my current school and work situation. And in the meantime, I'm just dreaming about playing games. You know, every now and then I think about how easy life would be if I dropped everything but school and like a really easy job and just played games for fun again. But at the same time, I know I'd hate myself about a month after quitting everything because I still love ItsObviousGaming and everything I'm working towards. It's totally worth it. But there are those days where I'm like, man, I would give anything to just play a game and not have to worry about doing anything else. I miss it so much.
I understand.
But regardless, I'm still having a great time and it's good to be with you both today.
I hear you. Absolutely. Yeah, I love those days when I just have a day off from work, not worrying about anything else. Playing a game is a magical experience.
It is. I wanted to give everyone a heads up too. I mean, I'm sure we'll reiterate this at the end, but we're still getting back on our normal schedule after I'd gone out of town for a weekend. Of course, E3 came, so it kind of threw us off a bit. And this past week, we were playing catch up still. So I was having to do a lot of E3 stuff. And I took a couple extra freelance jobs during the week that really ate up a lot of time. So this week, we will be back to our normal schedule of Let's Plays. Should be streaming at least twice this week. Preferably Tuesday and Thursday. I guess we'll talk about that later and figure it out. But we do want to get back to our normal scheduled events. And hopefully, Lord willing, we'll get an Ask IOG out. It's only challenging because your work situation is very awkward. So Preston is very limited in the evenings to shoot videos. So once this job wraps up, which is a couple months still, right?
It's probably another 3-4 weeks.
Okay.
And it's definitely like, I know prior to this week, well, like this last week, it's like, oh, I'll have a day or two off. It's like balls to the walls now.
Right.
Like everything's primed and ready to go.
Okay.
So
the real work has begun.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we've kind of been like playing around this past month or two, but crap's about to hit the fan.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a bad term to use because nothing's bad. It's just we're about to hunker
the grind
down.
Is about to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still same hours as normal, but there's probably not going to be like, oh, I have a day off this week.
Right.
That's not going to be the case.
Yeah. When that job wraps up, we should be able to get on a normal schedule for Ask IOG and reach that weekly goal we have in mind. But we have plenty of questions to get to. So all of you that have submitted questions, fear not, because we are getting to them as soon as possible. And hopefully we may be able to squeeze an episode in between now and when Preston's job wraps up. But when that job is complete, we'll officially get on our weekly schedule of Ask IOG. Cool. So we'll have It's Obvious Podcast Mondays, Ask OG Fridays, Let's Plays and streams in between.
Yeah.
We look forward
Probably
to it.
when this job ends, I'm going to have to go out of town for like 4 months.
Oh, no.
I'll just see
where
you
you're
guys
headed?
when I get back. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm saying that's probably what's
that
going
would
to
be our
happen.
luck for sure.
So
We'll see.
But gentlemen, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Anything that happened this week or anything else
I'm trying to
video game
remember.
related?
I don't
Before we move on,
I don't think so. Is there anything?
what'd you
else
think
going
of your Taco Bell meal today?
on? It was actually pretty good.
I thought it was really good.
I
too.
don't know if I'll
My
get.
quesadilla was superb.
What was it? It was called a double chalupa.
The double chalupa.
I don't know if I'll get that again.
See, I don't like how mushy that is. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
The mushy.
yeah.
Is it
like,
just due to there's a lot of stuff on the inside?
Yeah, there's like
probably?
the sour cream, the cheese,
Mhm.
like the
The beef,
burrito,
the lettuce,
yeah.
tomatoes.
I don't know. It's just too. Yeah.
See, I didn't dislike
I like
it
the
at all.
shell though, like that it's in.
Yeah,
If I
I
could
mean,
just
it's
get, like,
just
a
it's just
taco
a
in that.
big chalupa.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess have you had a regular chalupa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't like that either, so I don't know why I thought I would like this.
Okay.
So
How do you not? Why don't you like a regular chalupa?
I don't know. It's just not for me. I'm a very simple man. Like I would be just fine just getting tacos at Taco Bell.
I mean, but a chalupa essentially is a taco. It's
I
just a
know.
different shell.
it's just too much.
but it's the
too much
same
for
thing.
me.
It's just a different shell.
Is it just the mushiness?
Yeah, it's the mushiness.
So you don't like you like soft tacos though, don't you?
Yeah, but that's just the beef that's mushy.
Okay. So you just
So-
you prefer less beef then?
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just
I
Like I
understand
said,
that.
I'm just a very simple man.
You and me both.
I'm
Okay.
boring in that way, I guess, but
okay.
I'm very
I don't know.
simple as well.
this things gross me out like that. So
Okay.
I'm not a big mushy guy
Does
in terms of anything.
then does the beef?
That's
in
true. If you
a
felt
s-
this body, you'd understand he is not
does
a
the
mushy
beef
man.
in a soft taco is it too mushy?
That's fine.
But it's the same thing.
No.
I think it's just a little less
No.
beef and a smaller soft taco.
Okay, so you just want less beef.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a chicken chalupa then? Would you enjoy
I've
that?
never tried that. Maybe I should do
good.
that.
You know what's weird about me and chicken at Mexican restaurants? I know Taco Bell isn't technically a Mexican establishment, but
Oh, yes, it
I
is.
love that genre of food. It's one of my favorites. And I just don't really like chicken on my items
Really?
like that. Like at Taco Bell, I will never eat the chicken.
Why?
I don't know. It's weird. I just prefer steak when I have
Steak.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the steak.
I get that completely because I understand your concerns, but it has never wronged me.
Mm-hmm.
And knock on wood, today will be the day it wrongs me. It has not wronged me yet. Now, I will say at El Felix, which we've been to multiple times, I
Mhm.
love their chicken.
Yeah.
But most places I prefer steak over chicken any day.
See, I've had steak for the most part. I know we've talked about this numerous times, but I hate chewy meat.
Okay.
It's like every time I get steak, unless it's like done very well, like cooked to perfection, it's just chewy to me.
I want you and I to go perhaps on a double date at some point to go to
yeah.
maybe even a triple date if Jacob could find a gal. You talking to any gals right now?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, if you can find yourself a date, which I'm imagine for you is quite easy if you flaunt your gorgeous blue eyes and that body of yours at the gym.
I'll just go on
probably quite easy.
Craigslist. Need date.
Yeah, need date. Call this number. We should go to American Cut. I promise you that is the best steak you will ever have in your life.
Sounds
Okay.
like a haircut place.
It is,
American
yeah.
Cuts.
It does.
It's actually where Americans go to get their haircut.
Nice.
All the
Get a
prestigious
haircut and eat a
Americans.
steak.
Yes, they put your hair clippings on the steak.
That'd
they
be
send.
quite the experience.
Yes, it's very progressive way of eating, putting your own hair on your meal.
Yeah.
But the steak, as I mentioned, the first time I talked about it, I had never actually had steak until I ate here. I didn't realize what steak could be until I had it there, and I was like blown away
Now,
by
please share what kind of steak this was.
it. It was a filet. I mean, they have multiple. They have every
Ooh.
kind of steak, of
Right.
course, but I'm a filet man myself when I
Fillets
can
are
afford it.
good.
And it's the most expensive, of course, because
Yeah.
it's the most
Of
delicious
course.
in my opinion. But
It's
it
also
is-
one of the smallest.
it is just so tender, so juicy, and it's hard to describe, but I promise you, it is just wonderful. I'd love to share an evening with you
Okay.
both.
That
doing
sounds good.
Mm.
I would like that.
But what were we talking about? We talked about Taco Bell. There's
There's
something else I
T-Bell.
was going to bring up. Oh yeah, movies I've seen recently that I was going to mention.
Oh, I saw a movie recently too.
Did you? What'd you see?
I saw Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, how'd you feel about it?
It's not a great movie, but because I'm such a big fan of the series, I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
There was a interesting like little twist like halfway towards the end of the movie that was cool.
All right.
So,
Cool. Do you suggest I go see it?
or
should I just wait for it to come to Blu-ray or whatever?
Depends what else you haven't seen.
Okay. There's a lot.
'Cause there's
I
definitely
want to
better
see.
stuff out right now.
Yeah, I have seen The Mummy, which I mentioned in our what was that video?
Hey, there's air.
There is. Yeah, let's take a moment of silence to appreciate Jacob's breasts, but also filter out this hair starting now. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. I've seen The Mummy. I mentioned that in our most recent Farpoint video. After you left, I had to go see The Mummy.
I need to play that.
You had to go see
Farpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went with my mom and my sister to see it, and it was pretty cool. I didn't love it by any means.
Did you like the old one more?
I did, yeah, for sure. But this was entertaining. It was fine. I love Tom Cruise movies.
Did you see the tweet that he posted?
Tom Cruise?
Or it might have been on Instagram or something, but it was... I know whoever played the first one.
Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
What did he say?
He was like... I don't remember exactly what it was. It was something about why
Jacob, you're ruining this.
I mean, I can look it up. The exact tweet. Let me do that, actually.
Okay, was it salty or was it supportive?
No, he was just like making fun of Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Because the movie didn't really need to be remade.
Right. I don't know if you could call... I mean, obviously, it has the same title.
I don't think it's a remake.
It's just the same title.
Yeah.
Definitely an entirely different tone, but there was definitely some humor spliced in there as well, but definitely a bit of a darker tone. But they did have a cool Easter egg from, I think, either the first or second Mummy movie from back in the day, which was nice. I was hoping that they would just have a surprise appearance by Brendan Fraser and they'd be based in the same world. And they were like, we're bringing an expert who's dealt with this situation before and bring in Brendan Fraser, because I want Brendan to have a comeback so badly, the poor guy. But
second picture.
Yeah. Did you find the tweet yet?
Not yet. I got caught up in this.
So basically, he
picture.
just said that it was unnecessary to make it.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I watched The Founder with Michael Keaton on my way back from Los Angeles on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie about the guy who allegedly founded McDonald's, of course. It was originally founded by two brothers, but he basically took McDonald's and made it the franchise that it is today. An interesting fact, McDonald's, I don't think, is registered as a restaurant company. They're registered as a realtor company or something weird like that. And they found out the way to cheat the system and making the most money possible is to buy plots of land and then what's the word I'm looking for? Franchise. Each franchise is sold to someone based off the land they own, apparently. So that's how they raked in all the money they did originally. And it was a pretty fascinating story. I mean, this is based on a true story, but I imagine for the majority of it is true. But Michael Keaton killed it. And it was one of those roles where, especially with people who've played a superhero in the past, like Michael Keaton playing Batman, every time I see Michael Keaton, there's a small part of me that's like, oh, it's Batman. But he did so well in this movie. Same thing with Birdman as well. I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. But in The Founder especially, even with the accent he was putting on, I was convinced that he was this character, not Michael Keaton by the end, which is really awesome. But that movie was fantastic.
Did they talk about like how they made the Big Mac and stuff?
No, they didn't. They didn't go into details of the items of food specifically, but when he has McDonald's for the first time, he's like, this is the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life. I was like, man, I really want to go get McDonald's now. It's like when they showed Super Size Me when I was in health class in high school. Me and Zach were like, let's go get McDonald's after class, dude. It looks fantastic.
There's another documentary that people are talking about right now that's on Netflix called What the Health?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are saying that like you're never going to want to eat ever again, like anything.
Okay.
So
I get that. I mean, I've seen some documentaries that freak me out, but then I just block it out of my mind and go get Taco Bell anyway.
I'm assuming, granted, this might sound ignorant because I haven't watched it, but it's just going to be like, this food's really bad for you and you're going to get really bad diseases and stuff if you eat it and stuff. So, which, is probably true, but, I think it's pretty common sense that you probably shouldn't go to McDonald's every day.
Right. Yeah. Moderation is key.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I feel bad. I didn't realize I read about the movie because I was wondering why it just really wasn't on many people's radar. I mean, it had a little Oscar buzz earlier this year, but I found out that I think it was the same production company that did Moonlight. It was called Moonlight, the one Best Picture, and they basically killed Founder so that Moonlight could have more publicity at the Oscars and stuff. So they just kind of dropped the promotion for the Founder. But that movie really was good. I highly suggest it to those that are at all interested or have heard about it. It's a good movie. Cool. So great story too. I just really enjoy stories that it's a film, but it doubles as sort of a documentary of this person's life and just the history of McDonald's.
Now, me and Lizzie are wanting to watch a movie tonight.
Okay.
Start date night. We're gonna put the dogs up. They hassle us too much.
Okay.
So we're gonna put them in timeout and we're gonna watch a movie. Would this be a good one to watch, or would you recommend something else?
Yeah, I think it's good. I haven't browsed the movie selection on any streaming service in quite some time. I've been so involved with TV shows. Speaking of which, I finished the latest season of House of Cards with my girlfriend, and it was awesome. Really enjoyed it.
I've heard it's very dark and good.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I've only watched like 2 episodes.
It's great, especially the way it wraps up is crazy.
That's all cool and stuff, but have you finished One Punch Man?
Yes, I was going to bring up that next.
Okay.
I am still nicking away at it. Even at nighttime, by the time I get in my bed, I'm so tired and dead that I'll watch something falling asleep, but I'm so exhausted I just can't. I just fall asleep. So I haven't watched it in a couple days, but I think I'm on episode 5 or 6. I think I'm almost halfway through. I'm not mistaken. That show is incredible.
That's really
You
good.
were not exaggerating. I love it.
So good.
So that and whenever I have time, when I'm in the mood, I go to Attack on Titan. So about to wrap that up as well.
Where should I watch that at?
Hulu.
Hulu?
That's where I watch
Is
it.
it do I have to sign up for their membership or whatever?
I think you do, actually. Don't they have a subscription now? Hulu?
Or can I just watch
I'm
it
not
for free?
Lizzie has always had a Hulu subscription.
I'm
so
pretty sure it's subscription based now.
I don't want to pay.
When they
for
first
that.
launched, it was free, and then they came out with a premium service, and now I think it's all subscription like Netflix.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I'm at episode 10, and it's getting good.
Nice.
I'm liking the twists and turns this story is taking.
Cool.
So, and of course, it's beautifully animated. Every time I watch that show, I'm just like,
gorgeous.
holy crap. And so is One Punch Man. One Punch Man looks so
Incredibly
freaking
stylish.
good. So just every character in that show just looks so badass. So very cool. You should watch it, Jacob. It's great.
It's
Where can I watch
I think
it at?
you would watch
Netflix.
it. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. And it's great because I know you love to eat meals and watch a TV show.
yeah.
This is perfect for that, Jacob. It's the perfect length. So I highly suggest it.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I will watch it after House of Cards. How about that?
Okay. Good call.
I will watch One Punch Man.
It's not
great.
long either. It's like 12 episodes, 22-minute episodes. Very not a crazy story to follow. There's definitely a story, but it's not like, really complicated. Like Garrett says, it's a good something to just sit down and popcorn, show. So
The movies I want to see, I really want to see Baby Driver. Edgar
I
Wright's new
saw Jeremy John's review for it. I'm excited.
I never
pumped
even
to see
heard
it.
of that.
Yeah, it's Edgar Wright, right? He does like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
What's that movie with? It's like his most popular movie, the kid with the guitar.
It's a baby guitar.
Yeah, no, it's why can't I think of the title? It's his most famous movie. It's the one everyone's obsessed with. The one where he has the ex-girlfriends he has to fight.
Oh,
That's Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Dude, no joke. I was going to say that as like a joke, thinking that wasn't it, but it is. That's weird.
Yeah, that one and one of his more recent ones, At World's End, is also hilarious. Shout out to that one. But it looks awesome. Yeah, have you not seen a trailer for it? Yeah, you should watch a trailer. It's essentially about a kid who's a very talented driver, and he's involved with this crime organization. He drives for them, and there's also a romance spliced in there. It's about he and this girl wanting to get out of this life, but he's kind of trapped. And it looks very entertaining. So
Kevin Spacey's in it too.
He is. Very much in an Edgar Wright style, where it's very stylized and humor spliced in with a surprisingly deep storyline. So it looks awesome. And Jeremy Johns is praising it. And a lot of good reviews around the table as well. And also, I believe it or not, I really want to see the new Transformers. I've
heard it's
Is that out yet?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Every critic hates Transformers, literally all of them. And that's the thing. I've enjoyed all of them.
I didn't enjoy the last one.
Yeah, I'm able to say, like, I realize they're not great movies. I'm just thoroughly entertained by them. I love the Transformers. I love the action especially. And I know people hate on the humor, but I think the humor is so stupid that's why I enjoy it, because it's just really stupid humor. So I'm not saying it's a grade A piece of cinema, but I'm really entertained by those movies, so I want to see it.
Okay.
But I want to see those two. And of course, Spider-Man 2 weeks from now, if I'm not mistaken. A little under 2 weeks.
That's going to be the first movie in years that I'm going opening night to see.
Yeah, and Buzz...
since Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Right,
2 years.
Positive buzz coming out of critics. There haven't been like actual reviews yet, but people that are allowed to give their brief thoughts have all said it's really fun.
I've heard the Peter Parker is very much the center stage of the movie.
Okay.
Even the Falcon is kind of like a side character.
Interesting.
It's very much about Peter Parker.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea because it's about Peter coming into his own and deciding what kind of hero he's going to be and proving himself to Tony Stark and stuff. I love that aspect of the movie.
Oh, yeah. How are we going to wait to play Spider-Man after seeing this movie? Gary?
I know.
I'm going to want to play that game just immediately.
That's why I wish I was still in possession of my PS2 and Spider-Man 2, the game, or even Ultimate Spider-Man, because after watching the Spider-Man PS4 gameplay, I went and watched about half an hour of gameplay from Spider-Man 2 on PS2. Now, I realize it being a movie licensed game that we may never see a remaster for it, but I would pay full price for a remaster of Spider-Man 2.
I'm going to throw
that was
out
Activision,
there.
wasn't it, back in the day?
I'm sure they published it. I'm not sure who made it. Something was to tell me Treyarch made it.
I think it was Treyarch.
Was it Treyarch?
It was Treyarch. I remember
they did
now.
something with Spider-Man.
Yep.
I don't know.
I distinctly
Check
remember.
us on that. But I'm going to say something. I think, now Grant, this might get me in a little bit of the hot seat.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people look at that game with nostalgia blinders.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I was looking at it too. I was looking at there's like tons of montages showing like the progress that Spider-Man games have come. And, the web swinging looks cool and stuff, but just everything else, I could not go back and play it. It just looks so, I don't want to say bad. It just looks really dated now. And people that are just like, oh man, the new Spider-Man will never beat the Spider-Man 2. Like nothing's ever going to beat that and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you guys are looking at this game like with, nostalgia goggles on big time.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, even watching gameplay for Spider-Man 2, and it's funny, I've been watching gameplay for basically every Spider-Man game you can imagine because of this, what we've seen from E3. But I actually watched a guy do an analysis on Spider-Man's web swinging specifically over every single Spider-Man game that's come before. And still to this day, I mean, there's been some impressive web swinging, especially I think it was Web of Shadows, which I never played, but I was actually really impressed by the way that
Web
looked.
of Shadows.
Yeah, was it Web of Shadows?
I
The
don't
one that was
know.
like Wolverine in
It's
it
just a
and stuff.
funny
I
name.
think that's what it's called.
Yeah, but that one looked really good as well. But even now, I like going back and looking at Spider-Man 2. I know Spider-Man 3 was open world as well, but Spider-Man 2 just still, I don't know what it is about the game, just really impresses me. But
it impresses me for the time.
Exactly. That's what I mean. When I going back to it, I'm like, wow, man, I remember loving this game and I can see why I loved it so much. I mean, I loved it so much that I talked my friend's ear off across the street and he like literally told me just to shut up because I wouldn't stop talking about it. So, and it actually annoyed me because that game came out and he was playing a Gundam game that came out around the same time. And I kept talking to him about how good Spider-Man was. And I kept showing him all these cool things like the free roaming of the web swinging and hanging guys from street lights and the combat and blah, 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 doing all these cool things. And I was like, isn't this so awesome? He's like, I don't know, man. I think Gundam's way better than this. And I was like, you know what? F you, bro.
Hey, I got good news for both of you guys.
What?
You can go see Spider-Man in a couple weeks, and then on your own PS4s, you can pick up Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You're right.
And there you go. There's your
Actually, I
Spider-Man
didn't think the
game.
web swinging in that was the worst.
It wasn't
thing
terrible.
ever.
At least it was a little,
like,
it was sort of physics based.
I remember when
Like-
that game came out and thinking like the first one looked better than
Oh, it
that
did.
one.
It
Like
did.
it
It
was
still does.
It was
Mhm.
shocking
Yeah.
to me. And that's why I didn't pick it up.
just the freaking Spider-Man's outfit in the second one looks way worse than in the first game.
I love that suit from
Interesting.
Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah,
Looks
I do
super
too.
cool.
I just
love
like
the
it better.
practical aspect of it.
Yeah,
Now, my favorite
I do
part was
too.
just the sunglass lenses he used on his mask.
yeah, I thought that
So
was cool. I thought that one looked cooler than the second one. I know the second one's more, like the Amazing Spider-Man with the big eyes and stuff. But like you said, I just like the how they kind of tried to show how they made it in the first one with the sunglasses and stuff. What I meant by Amazing Spider-Man 2 is I just think people are, especially now that Spider-Man games are like in the mainstream, or people just are talking about Insomniac's new game. People are just, I don't know, they're just referring to that game a lot, and just going back and looking at it. I just don't know if I could go back and play it. It just looks kind of clunky. I don't, you know what I mean? Like it just looks kind of.
I know what you mean.
But it's old. It's an old game. So, yeah, I don't know.
I trust in Insomniac.
No, I completely
Wholeheartedly.
trust in
So
Insomniac.
I'm pumped for the new one.
Yep, I am too. So I guess that'll do it, guys.
I think so.
All right, cool.
See you next week.
Yep,
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
that'll do it. I don't like what I was saying.
What were you saying?
I don't know. I don't feel like I can say what I'm trying to say about Spider-Man 2.
You're just saying due to all of the negativity surrounding the reveal of Spider-Man on PS4, people are comparing it to the older games and saying that they're vastly superior to this one before playing the new one. And you're just basically saying, wait it out and let's see when it comes. Even though this one does clearly look very good in comparison to some of the older ones.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess I also wanted to, I'm not trying to be edgy, but I just don't think Spider-Man 2 looks that good now.
Okay. I know
guess
what you
I'm also
mean,
trying to
but
say that too.
when I look at that game, I look at it in the lens of when I used to play it. That's not
Exactly.
that's not saying that I'm like, oh, it's it's better still.
Yeah,
but
I loved that game to death as a kid.
Yeah.
Freaking loved it. But looking at it now, I just, after everything that's preceded it, I'm not going to say that The Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2 or Web of Shadows, I can't even speak on that. But I think Ultimate Spider-Man was better than Spider-Man 2, in my opinion. And nobody talks about that game. And I've actually looked at that game recently, and it graphically kind of holds up way more and stuff than 2.
it helps that comic book style I went with.
But I mean, the gameplay, I remember it being essentially the same, so it's probably going to be the same clunky and stuff. But whatever, you essentially got what I was trying to say. So I guess we'll continue on. But
I'd even play a remaster of that.
Of Ultimate Spider-Man?
I would love a remaster of it. Just a Spider-Man game, specifically one of those two.
Well, yeah,
be a dream come true.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's true. I'll just pick that up and platinum it.
Okay. I have one more trophy left in it.
Do you? Which one is it?
Upgrade your suits all the way.
How long does that take?
I was like doing the same mission over and over and over and over and over again, and I was like halfway through, and I just quit.
You might as well finish it up, man. Your trophy list can look
You know what? I actually
it.
thought about that recently, picking it up and just getting that last trophy. But then I don't know where my save is, and then I'm not playing the entire game again at all. Yeah. So essentially me buying this game, sitting down, playing the same mission repeatedly, time and time in, just to get a trophy. And then I have this game.
Nice.
So I don't think it's worth it.
Okay.
But who knows? I'm a crazy person when it comes to... I've done weirder things for trophies.
You have.
So, but anyways, this is the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast. It's where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games. Obviously, you can find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. If YouTube isn't good for you or you'd like to take us on the go, you can find this podcast weekly on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Audio Boom, and other podcasting services. Please check the description down below for links to our social media pages, Discord, PlayStation community, and the timestamps to skip to different topics throughout the podcast if you don't want to listen to our monologues at the beginning. Please subscribe to the channel and be sure to like and comment down below to get involved with the It's Obvious community. Doing so helps us out a ton, and we would ever be in your debt. With all that out of the way, hey man, what's the news?
Have you guys seen the Beyond Good and Evil 2 tech demo they showed off shortly after E3?
I skimmed it.
Yeah, I skimmed through it as well. How'd you feel about it? Have you seen it, Jacob?
Same thing. I skimmed through it.
Okay.
I mean, it looked like the monkey was flying, and then the ship
jetpacking around, and
ship looked big.
The gentleman talked about scale basically the entire time.
He went like to outer space at one point, didn't he?
Did he? I dropped out before that. If he went to outer space,
I think he did. It was like No Man's Sky. I think he like flew to outer space.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I saw all in the comments when I was reading the comments like No Man's Sky, but I didn't see what he was talking about because I was at work or something when I was watching it. So
yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't feel like this was my initial reaction to it being revealed was, oh, that's really cool, but it doesn't feel like the first one. The first one, like I said, it was like this cool stealth game where you're as a journalist trying to like expose stuff. You're like taking pictures and sneaking around, and the combat was kind of cool. And this just looks like a different game with the same name.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't really say that for sure because, the only thing we've seen is prototype stuff, which just shows Lord knows when this game's coming out. Like, holy crap.
I think someone commented just 2020 when they left a comment.
I don't know. It might be longer. I think longer than that. So, but I don't know. I'm not like, I don't have posters of Beyond Good and Evil on my wall. I definitely enjoyed the game when I played it back in the day, but this doesn't like have that feeling and stuff that the first one had. Like I said, though, it's just a demo, or it's just they're prototyping it, so I can't say for sure right now, but I mean, it sounds interesting.
Right. Do you have any excitement or interest in this at all, Jacob, based off the trailer you've seen?
Not really based off the trailer, no. Okay. I still don't really know what the game is. I don't think anyone does, but
right.
I'm excited to learn more about it as time goes on.
I heard somebody say it's like a space Grand Theft Auto.
That's interesting. Interesting way of putting it. I can imagine it'd be quite strange shooting someone in the head playing as a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even realize it. That trailer, it was like way more like adult than the first one, just in terms of just the language, like the vulgar language used and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, the first one was like, I think just teen, nothing really too crazy about it. So that was definitely a tone that wasn't present in the first one.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I've seen a ton of gameplay just because after you had talked about it so much, I had watched gameplay for it, and it looked pretty cool. I mean, I never played it, obviously, but I'm not even anticipating this. I think it looks cool based off the trailers, an interesting looking world, and just based off the demo, if you can fly to outer space as this monkey with a jetpack and go on your ship and explore this open city, I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have any other thoughts besides that. I was just curious to gather your opinions off that tech demo they showed.
I have a feeling this is not even going to be on this generation of consoles. That's my prediction.
It's not a terrible assumption.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It'll be on the next ones.
Or it may come to the most powerful console ever made, the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
So it's the only
I heard
console
someone
that can
post on
handle this.
Twitter that they feel like they're playing tic-tac-toe whenever they write that out.
Xbox One X. That's funny. Well, gentlemen, to no one's surprise, The Last of Us 2 has been put on hold until the completion of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, obviously. But apparently, according to the designers, and I think I can't remember the lead designer's name or the director of the game, but he said it's technically now considered a full-fledged game. And obviously, it's still floating around 10 hours, but they originally started it as glorified DLC for Uncharted, and then it kind of became its own standalone title. And then they've progressed to a point where it is its own game now. With even adjusted mechanics, they said, for example, the shooting feels a little tighter compared to the loosey-goosiness of Drake, because they said they want Nadine and Chloe to feel a little more experienced as far as combat's concerned. Of course, Nate's killed thousands of people, but he's an explorer at heart versus like a fighter, even though he can kill anyone that steps into his path. But they said
Nadine.
Yeah, they said they wanted to make the mechanics feel slightly different. Not reinvent them, because obviously you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but they wanted to adjust them a bit to give it a slightly different feeling over Uncharted 4. And they said it certainly stands on its own. And that's something I feel like they need to address soon, the fact that because everyone's like, oh, the expansion to Uncharted 4, where they're now considering it just a brand new Uncharted game. And I think there are also rumors been floating around that they're potentially testing the waters to see how people would respond to an Uncharted game without Drake in it, to see what they can do going forward. Because the Uncharted name, you could throw anything to the Uncharted name, like Tomb Raider this, Tomb Raider that, Uncharted this, Uncharted that, which I think would be really cool. Granted, the heart of Uncharted is its core cast that you follow throughout the first three games. But
They actually commented on that this past week.
did they?
Yeah, about the Uncharted series going forward. And I forgot the exact quote, but it was pretty much to the extent of like, there's probably gonna be more Uncharted stuff. I definitely think Nathan Drake's story has ended, but I think it'd be dumb for anybody to really think that. I think that's just not gonna. Yeah. Nothing else is gonna come from it.
That's the thing about movies and video games: is something selling. There's even though, as a fan and as a creator, it would make sense to end something while you're on top. But as far as a financial standpoint, why would you ever end something if it's still making a crap ton of money and is successful? Yep. So I imagine, of course, it's obvious to think they'll eventually crank out another Uncharted game, whether that be through the epilogue we received from Uncharted 4 or a brand new character entirely. I don't know. But Naughty Dog's so talented, they could probably give us a brand new cast of characters and we could grow to love them just as much as we love Nathan Drake and Sully. And
I'm sure there's, at the very least, going to be a connection to Drake in some way.
There could be, yeah. Even if he has like a cameo or something. That's my favorite thing. If you're going to reboot a series or start a new series like Halo, for example, I would have preferred Master Chief to be a side character, not the protagonist. But, that's life. But we'll see what happens going forward.
Polygon has one thing up saying that an Uncharted game from Naughty Dog seems unlikely. They have some quotes, but I don't know. I can't really find the quote that I saw from this past week.
I know what you're talking about.
You do? I don't know if they specifically said that Naughty Dog. I'm assuming Naughty Dog is probably done with Uncharted after this. I would like for them.
Oh, they might hand it off to someone else. You mean?
Yeah,
yeah, that would make sense too. I just mean the name itself.
Yeah. And we've seen like Ben did a good job with Golden Abyss, so I don't think it's completely out of the question for another developer to.
Well, those days are
to make
gone.
a good Uncharted.
I guess
game.
I guess it would have to go to one of their first party studios, then, wouldn't it? Or could they just hand it off to anyone and just buy them out, or hand it off to a third party?
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't think Sony owns Uncharted license, right? So I'm assuming they'd give it to.
They'll just give it to some indie studio, dude. They can handle it.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll start a new studio.
Maybe that'd be pretty cool. Like a studio completely dedicated to Uncharted games.
Yeah,
of course, you don't want an Assassin's Creed situation where it's like, we're going to bring out Uncharted annually with a new character every year.
I love Uncharted, and when they make a new, I feel like it'd be cool if they just went away for like years.
Yeah,
I'm talking
like a
until
decade.
PlayStation 5 next one comes out,
Right.
and that'd be a crazy announcement. Like 2 or 3 years after PlayStation 5 is announced, come out at E3 and like new Uncharted, and everybody's like,
Totally, that'd be
great.
awesome. That's always the most effective way to do it. Too.
Yeah, this franchise is in the position for them to pull a God of War where they come out and everybody's losing their mind to see this franchise come back. But in terms of Naughty Dog, like I want to see them obviously put out The Last of Us 2 and then just do a new IP. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
I would. What else would they do?
Ooh, Naughty Dog?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. The Last of Us came out of nowhere. I'd love to see them tackle something else that's brand new.
I know.
You think it'll have like the same look and feel as Uncharted and Last of Us do?
No, that's what I was thinking.
Or maybe they like tackle something completely different.
I would like for them to just tackle, like, what if Naughty Dog did like a, I don't know. I know open world RPGs are just like, everybody's trying them now, but I'd like to see Naughty Dog's take on one. I mean, we saw what Guerrilla could do. Like, imagine what Naughty Dog could do.
Seriously.
So,
That's a good point.
that'd be awesome.
I don't know. If we're being honest, probably the most financially sound decision they can make would be go back to Jak and Daxter and just make Jak and Daxter the rest of their careers in the gaming industry.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
did y'all see the gameplay demo that was released of, what's it called, Lost Legacy?
no, I've not watched it.
I've been avoiding everything.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it too.
I watched like 30 seconds of it, and it was essentially the first 30 seconds they showed at E3. But it does look really cool.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I've been away from Uncharted 4. I only played through it once, so I'm even more ready to play Lost Legacy.
It is cool. It's like my brain is still stuck on that DLC. Even though I know it's really big, but it's like my brain hasn't like processed that we're essentially getting a brand new Uncharted game this year.
Yeah, that's marketing. That's what they need to push because I think literally everyone's calling it expansion or DLC.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it pays off for them. I want it to succeed. I mean, Naughty Dog will be fine regardless because they're Naughty Dog, but I want it to be a big success for them, especially with the new creative director they have behind it and the teamwork. I mean, it is like basically the whole Naughty Dog team working on it, but this other guy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see. Detroit is apparently coming in 2018. I know even at E3 they didn't have a release date, but director David Cage himself confirms the game is coming in 2018, is at least what he told GameSpot, unless something changes again. But that game is... How long ago was that game announced? So long ago.
It was... I mean, they like formally came out and announced it. I think it was at like a Gamescom. I don't know if it was at E3.
I mean, it's at least been a few years, hasn't it?
It was a while. I mean, David Cage does these like tech demos,
Right.
and it was a initially shown like, the tech demo of this game a long time ago, but actually being revealed as Become Human, I don't know, I think at least a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I will say that's one of my most anticipated exclusives for PlayStation. I'm in the mood for, at least as of now, my mind might completely change, but I could go for a narrative-driven game like that, especially with the world they've built around it.
2018 is just going to be the
year of exclusives for PlayStation.
Of first-party exclusives.
Right. Even for Xbox, there's a lot coming too, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Sea of Thieves and...
I know that one was on my mind.
State of Decay.
Are those the only two?
Those are like the only two I can think of.
Yikes. Oh, we'll see. But even for PlayStation...
Yeah, Ori.
Yeah, that's another one. God of War, Spider-Man, Detroit. What else am I thinking about? Days Gone.
Maybe. That's not even...
I feel like if one of those are going to miss, it's probably that.
Days Gone?
Yeah.
No. I I think that's for sure.
I think Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. I could see that being dropped to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. I could see. I know God of War's for sure coming out next year. They're not going to go from beginning of 2018 to 2019. I think at most it'll be delayed until summer or holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I think Days Gone has a really good chance. I think Days Gone and God of War will release next year, and I think Detroit and Spider-Man will release in 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say if the two are going to be delayed, definitely Detroit and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they all come. That'd be great. In a perfect world, they would.
If they do all come, please be very far from each other.
Yes, please. That'd be wonderful.
So,
yeah. What else do we have on here? Overwatch's loot boxes are finally getting fixed, according to Jeff Kaplan himself. He says, quote, "One of the things we're going to do is drastically reduce the rate of duplicates you get out of any loot box." And the change is currently live in the PTR, which is wonderful because every time I've played Overwatch since the at least since the anniversary event, everything I've gotten is 99% of the time duplicates. So
I know.
I'm glad they're making some adjustments because I missed out on a lot of cool skins that I really was hoping for. And I probably unlocked close to, I mean, granted, you unlocked more than 50 during the anniversary event, but I unlocked at least 25 myself just based on ranking up in the one pack I bought for loot boxes. And I only got the Diva skin, which is a shame.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm glad they're making that update, which is cool.
Yeah.
But lastly, from, actually, we have two more. I'll go to this one first. But how do you guys feel about a potential LA Noire remaster?
I don't really care.
I don't either. I liked LA Noire.
Mm.
It's actually hilarious looking at some of the clips from it now.
Yeah, especially after watching Gamer Poop.
Oh yeah. Just the exaggerated expressions where like somebody's lying and they're just like
clearly lying.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. But I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I don't know.
It's definitely a unique experience.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know how that facial capture stuff isn't in every game.
I know. I've always wondered that because it's so. Even today, I'm impressed by it.
Oh yeah, it like looks better than a lot today.
Right.
Like especially compared to like I'm gonna kick the dead horse
Effect.
Andromeda.
I imagine it's quite expensive to do that, especially with a huge cast of characters. But imagine even.
Yeah, I would assume that technology just as time goes on it becomes cheaper and more available.
Because I remember the behind the scenes. It's literally the actor sitting in a chair with like not literally, but just a crap ton of cameras surrounding them, like not literally thousands, but it looks like thousands of cameras just enveloping them 360 degrees, and just gets every single tiny little detail on their face. So I imagine to do that with a full cast of characters is not only expensive, but I mean, they do all the motion capture and they have all those dots over their face, but clearly isn't as effective because I think animators have to go in and manually do all the laying over the faces of these characters, the actors themselves. So, I mean, regardless, I'm still impressed by a lot of games we play today. But as far as facial animations go, poor Mass Effect Andromeda, imagine if they had that technology. They would have not faced the hell that they did.
That game, taking us back to when I was talking about trying to find something else to play. That game was one of the first ones to pop into my head about what do I need to play now, and I just thought about it for a little bit, and I don't think I'm going to get to it.
I don't think I am either.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying it's a bad game because I've heard from plenty of fans that once you play through it, it's great, but it's very time consuming as well. And I don't have time for really big games right now, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I wish I did, but that's life sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, and after seeing like Anthem and stuff. Just like, oh, I'll wait for that BioWare game.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. I forgot they also. I didn't realize it at the live demo, but that character at the beginning where he says his face is tired or whatever. Do you think that was an actual joke towards Andromeda itself to make light of that situation? Demo? Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I didn't pick up on that, but people have been pointing that out.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, the guy's like, "Oh, my face is so tired from dealing with this today."
Oh, I mean, that'd be funny if it was.
All right. So I don't know if it was or not, but someone mentioned that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But lastly, Destiny's been moved from September 9th to September 6th, Jacob. How do those 3 days make you feel?
Well, it's on a Wednesday now, I believe.
Right.
That's
which is weird.
Yeah, they said it's mostly due because they want the servers to get through the stress portion before the weekend hits, because obviously that's when everyone's going to get on and play.
Yeah.
So they wanted everyone's experience going into the weekend to be as smooth as possible. So that's why they're launching it 3 days earlier.
Yeah,
so
I think they also did
destroy the servers.
They want there to be like a huge midnight release for the game, and I think some countries like you can't do that on a Friday or for some reason.
Interesting.
Just something I heard.
The direct quote I have is purely due to just they want the servers to work themselves out before the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's cool.
3 days earlier, dude. Sick.
I think it's 2 days earlier.
You still stoked for Destiny 2?
Yeah. I'm super pumped. It's probably my most anticipated game this fall. So,
okay.
Super excited.
Thanks for spoiling the main topic, Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, we've basically reached the main topic. Our most anticipated game of fall 2017. We got some big ones coming. Of course, we'll have some honorable mentions ourselves, but who wants to start? Jacob basically said Jacob did say
I did
that his most anticipated game is Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Tell us why, Jacob. I know you
Would you
love
like
Destiny.
me to just go through the release? Everything coming out this fall, really quick.
That'd be great.
It's a lot of
just
games
fresh on our minds. I mean, I already have an idea of what mine is, but I'd like to hear them regardless.
I'd like to go through them just a little bit, just so I could give myself a little bit of a refresher.
For sure.
But we're in June right now, correct?
Yeah, we're considering fall, September, and onward, right? I know September's technically still summer.
Yeah. Okay. really quick, have you heard of this game called Get Even? Came out like a few days ago, I think.
No, I haven't actually.
I looked at some gameplay. It looks kind of cool. It's like 5 or 6 hours long. It's like $30 first-person shooter where you like go in people's memories or something. It's getting pretty decent reviews. It looks pretty cool. I recommend looking up some gameplay. I think you might like it. Starting in, I kind of want to start in August because that's when a decent amount of games start coming out. We have Tacoma, early August. Following that is Hellblade.
Hellblade looks cool.
Hellblade looks awesome. I'm actually really interested in that, and I'm probably going to pick it up because in terms of early August, that's really the only thing that interests me. Up until Lost Legacy, which is on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Absolver as well precedes that on the 29th. I think we talked about it during E3 discussion. That game interests me. And then on that same day, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
I'm excited for that one.
I am too. I think I'm definitely going to pick that up. I think that'll be something cool to play on the go. Then preceding that by a few days, Life is Strange. And new
That's the prequel
Yakuza
Life
game.
is Strange, right?
Yes, a prequel to Life is Strange. I got that completely wrong in our live watching of the press conference. I forgot whose it was.
I still got to get through season 1 myself.
Yeah.
It was Xbox.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I actually started season 1. I forgot to mention that. I played like an hour.
How was it?
It's cool. From what I've played so far, it's cool. I just didn't have a lot of time to really get any further than that. After that, we have Knack 2.
That's my most anticipated game of the fall.
Oh, yeah? Serious for a second. I've actually been watching a lot of IGN First for that game. And actually, it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's not a full retail game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be something that I might put on my backlog for sure.
It gave me some Ratchet and Clank vibes. I don't know if you got the same feeling.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to knock Knack.
Ha.
But
It definitely looks
it's
better.
definitely not on my radar.
It looks better than the first one. That's for sure. Then Destiny 2 the next day. Then we have on the 14th Dishonored: Death of the Outsider.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
interested in that. Then we have Metroid: Samus Returns, which if that was on the Switch, I'd be getting it in a heartbeat.
Right.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Pokken Tournament DX, Danganronpa 3.
Forgot about that one too.
Then Cuphead.
I'm about to dump
is-
my pants, guys.
Oh, are you really?
I gotta hold it though. I gotta hang
You can
in
do
there.
it.
That Taco Bell is not being kind.
Don't start sweating on me.
Then we have Cuphead, which I've honestly lost all interest in Cuphead. It looks really cool, but
It does look so good.
probably
I'm gonna have to
never
wait for
get
review.
it.
That game is so beautiful, but when it comes to gameplay, it's gotta. I mean, the boss battles look fantastic,
Yeah.
but it's still got to see what else it has to offer.
So that's all in September. So September's a pretty decent month. We got Destiny, Dishonored, Metroid. That's pretty much it. It seems like September. No, August. August is a big month.
Mm-hmm.
Hellblade.
Can't forget about Lawbreakers at the beginning. I just want to put it on.
Oh, that's not even on here. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
Lawbreakers.
put it on record that I am extremely hyped for Lawbreakers.
Yeah, Lawbreakers looks really cool.
It looks so good, and you know me, I love me some arena shooters, and especially Cliff Blasinski. Just the way he just talks about his games just gets me really hyped, and I think it looks fantastic. and pumped for it to come to PS4.
Yeah. I am guilty of skipping over a few games in August that really didn't stand out to me. I know Sonic Mania is coming out.
I'm
Yes.
picking that up.
You are?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I'm super excited.
Oh,
for that.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
After listening to Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny talk about it, and just watching gameplay and the trailers and stuff. It might have just been trailer. I don't know if there's like gameplay out there.
Oh,
I mean, there's gameplay in the trailer, but
there's gameplay.
It does look really good.
Well, I just watched the trailer and the game looks great.
Yeah.
And you can create your own Sonic person.
No, that's Sonic Forces.
Okay. Well, even just this one. I know there's two different
Sonic
games.
Mania is the old school, like 16-bit.
Yeah. I've always wanted to play the old Sonic too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was never the biggest fan of Sonic back in the day, and even now.
The only Sonic game that really resonates with me, which is argued as one of the worst ones of all time, is Adventure 2.
No, Adventure 2 is argued as one of the best.
Which is the one where we watched the review and it has Shadow introduced for the first time. Is that Adventure Battle 2?
No, that is, in a lot of Sonic fans, is the best. There are just some videos that say, no, actually this game sucks.
Okay,
but
see, that's what I'm thinking of, because the only reviews I've watched, people crap all over it, but I loved that game as a kid.
No, I loved it too. I think a ton of people love that game, and a lot of people ask for, like, can we get Adventure 3? Can we get Adventure 3?
Okay. Hey, by the way, speaking of this is very random. You remember when I sang that tune on the podcast all those months ago, rolling around at the speed of sound?
I got it wrong.
I didn't realize that.
I got the lyrics wrong.
It actually was Rainbow, and I was like, "That's hilarious."
I think you called me out on Twitter.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. So, Agents of Mayhem is also coming out in August, which that game is going to die. It's going to flop.
Definitely.
Doesn't look bad.
And that's the thing. It's not. I mean, at least from what I played, it was not bad at all. But I don't think anyone cares about it coming out. I've played it and I don't even care.
Okay.
So
Absolver, I already said that's coming out. I already said that. Okay, now we're to October. It's getting good here.
Oh yeah.
Fort 7 over Fort 7. Middle Earth Shadow of War. The Evil Within 2. Fractured But Whole. Destiny 2 on PC. Assassin's Creed Origins. Super Mario Odyssey. Wolfenstein 2.
That is.
What am I going to do?
Wasn't last October insane too? It was. I remember there was 1,000 things that came out last October.
That is a lot of crap.
I think it's because all those publishers want their games to come out before everyone starts the Christmas shopping, which typically starts to happen around late October going into November. So like we have to have them all out now.
Yeah. It's literally Middle Earth 3 days later. Evil Within 2. 4 days later. South Park. Within a week, Origins, Super Mario Odyssey,
so
and
many
Wolfenstein.
Ubisoft games.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Just that day, just October 27th, is going to send me into a frenzy.
Yeah, that's Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, and Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's the problem with that month. I want to play almost all of those.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to pick the top 3 I want to play, Mordor, Wolfenstein, and Odyssey. But, of course, Mordor's will be easy to pick up because it's towards the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
But Wolfenstein and Odyssey, I want to play both of those so bad.
Yeah. Odyssey looks so good.
I think there's a good chance I'll be able to play Shadow of War. Granted, a week later, South Park comes out, which South Park looks incredible.
I feel like I can put
I just don't know if I'm going to pick that up.
On the back burner.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put it on the back burner. I completely acknowledge it looks amazing. I'm not really a big South Park fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's just due to me not liking it. I'm sure I would like it. I've just never sat down and watched it. I mean, I've seen a few episodes here and there, and I actually liked them a lot. And Stick of Truth looks freaking awesome. And I had already upgraded to a PS4 when that didn't that come out on last gen when we had a PS4, or it was towards the very end?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. So if that would have been on PS4, I'd have been all over that, especially in the beginning. But yeah, Assassin's Creed. We were actually in a text discussion a few days ago that the more I see of that game, the more jankiness I'm seeing, and it's just really making me very sad. So I'm just gonna kind of see what the reviews are.
I wouldn't be as concerned if the game wasn't coming out until next year sometime, but the fact that it's coming in October, that really is not a whole lot of time left. I mean, granted, they can still polish the crap out of it between now and then. I mean, the game's probably completely done. They've just got to fix all the tweaks here and there that need to be adjusted, but
it's just the one little detail of there not being like cover assassinations
that really bugs me too.
That hit my soul. I was like, what?
Especially in a game centered around, not entirely centered around stealth, but stealth is a big component, especially being an assassin. You can't, the simplicity of just taking cover behind a wall to stab someone around a corner.
You can't even take cover.
I know, that's absurd.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's just that little.
Even Unity had that.
Yeah, it's just like, I know that seems like so tiny, but I'm already kind of like, I don't know about this. And then that one little detail that just kind of like tipped me over the edge.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the setting, the protagonist, and some of the adjustments they've made to me look great, but just the performance of all these things don't really impress me. Just the way it plays. But
it's like I'll watch somebody play it, and it's like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And then I'll just watch somebody else's gameplay, and it just looks janky as shit. And
right.
I'm just like,
I will say I like the RPG elements they brought into it. I like the gear systems, an interesting idea. I know that's not totally original, but for Assassin's Creed, it's kind of fresh. And the combat to me is so funny because Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 are still especially 3 is my favorite combat that we've had in Assassin's Creed game. And it's so simplistic, and the only thing we ever wanted was to have multiple people attacking us at once. But even this combat looks even more Dark Souls inspired, where these guys will kill you very quickly, and fighting even just 2 guys can be really difficult. But it looks good at the same time. It doesn't blow me away. I don't know why, but I'm not saying
there's no impact. It seems like it's like you're just whacking them with like, especially a higher level enemy, just like with a Nerf sword or something.
I do like that idea though. Like, oh, this fortress is Similar to Horizon. If you go into Fortress that's too high level, it's way harder to kill guys. I like that idea, and I like to feel challenged and feel more afraid, but it just annoys me even more that, hey, if you're talented enough sneaking around, of course you can still take these guys out if you sneak. If you get caught and overwhelmed, you're probably going to die. But the fact that you can't take cover behind something just completely discourages me wanting to be stealthy to begin with.
And even if they're at such a high level, you can't one-shot them with a stealth takedown either,
right?
Which is dumb. Even Syndicate you could infiltrate way higher. Like you could be level 2 and go into a level 8, which was the max level in that game, and could still complete these objectives by stealthily taking out everybody. But if you got caught, there is no way you would survive combat. They would destroy you. But they were still like, hey, if you have enough skill, you can get through this.
That's far more enjoyable to me. Instead of cutting you off completely, like, you might as well not waste your time exploring this area of the map because they're going to kill you and you can't kill them.
It made stealth a necessity. Like,
exactly.
You had to be stealthy or else you couldn't do this at such a low level.
I realize that Assassin's Creed isn't designed to be purely a stealth game because the action is a huge part of it, the traversal, and now even the RPG elements. So I get that it's not solely focused around stealth, but you're an assassin. It just makes sense to be stealthy, especially when you have this eagle that can mark all these guys, but I can hardly sneak around the base. Yeah. So I don't know.
Garrett, if you want to be stealthy, go play Thief, all right?
I will, Jacob. I play that game every day of my life. I've platinumed it 20 times.
I play that game every single day of my life.
I play it from start to finish every single day.
So, okay, we'll go to November. About a week after the day from which we'll go crazy, World War II comes out.
That's a week later?
Holy crap.
I hate that part of the year.
Yeah. Well, I love it.
It's so great, but it's
4 days
bad.
later, Crackdown 2 and Super Lucky's Tale and the Xbox One X releases.
I won't be getting any of those, I don't think.
Which, I'm not going to lie, I have hardware hype, but I'm not going to get it.
I'm not going to get it either. This is the first time I'm not hyped for hardware.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
I'm more hyped about, I love just getting hardware.
It's because I'm satisfied enough with my Pro. Yeah. So
Can you imagine the Netflix you could watch on that machine?
Seriously.
Unreal.
That's a good point, man.
Unreal. About 3 days after that.
Let me clarify before you continue real quick. I don't want people to hate me for saying that. I will have an Xbox One X before Halo 6 launches.
Really?
Yes. I want Halo 6 to be the most badass experience I can possibly have.
Just buy a PC and buy an Xbox.
Even though I have sour feelings towards Halo 5.
I'm going to give a little tip to Microsoft. If you want me to buy a One X, intentionally sabotage Black Desert Online on anything but the One X to where I have to buy it.
Okay.
then I will buy it. That actually, Black Desert, speaking of that, doesn't have a release date yet, but it is supposed to be coming out this holiday. So there is a list at the very end of this where of games coming out that don't have a confirmed date yet. But 3 days after the One X launch, Ni no Kuni 2 comes out. Garrett, having played it, are you going to pick it up?
Not at launch, no.
Okay.
I would love to play it eventually. It's kind of like Nier Automata and Nier Automata and Neo, sorry. I have every intention to play those games, just not for a while. Same thing with Ni no Kuni. I would love to play that down the road.
Yeah, I think I would like to as well. The first one interested me a ton. Like I watched a ton of gameplay for it, read reviews. But I was more like playing 360 and stuff at the time. But this game does look great from what I've seen. Looks beautiful. Preceding that is Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And then on the 17th, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. And that pretty much ends everything that's confirmed. Forgive me if these things are, if the next games I'm giving y'all are already have a date. I think some of these games I'm going to say have actually moved to 2018, and some of them actually have release dates. Ace Combat 7, I'm pretty sure that got moved to 2018. I remember reading that. Boundless, never heard of it. Death's Gambit, I don't know. Divinity Original Sin 2, I'm pretty sure that got a release date on PC. I actually bought the first one, and it was very hard, and I was not good at it, but it was cool. Elder Scrolls Switch, no release date on that, but also VR is coming. I'm definitely hyped for that. Pretty sure that's probably going to come out in November. I thought I read November. Could be wrong. Gran Turismo Sport, Lawbreakers, which is in August, Metal Gear Survive, I think that got pushed to 2018 as well. Sea of Thieves, that got pushed to 2018. Vampire, Is that coming out this year?
I think it is.
Okay. That game,
I think it's November.
Our discussion about that last week really got me interested, and I think I sent you guys the gameplay.
I watched that too. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really fun. So I'm definitely interested in that. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm also immensely interested in as well. So I guess this whole discussion comes down to is, what are we going to do? What do we do? I think we had this exact same topic last year.
So Jacob's already
somehow we survived.
You were for sure dead set on Destiny 2 as your most anticipated game of the fall.
Yeah, just barely though, because I'm like so excited to play Mario.
I feel you.
Like,
so that would be an honorable mention.
The thing with Destiny 2 is that yes, I'm hyped for Destiny 2 to come out. I'm in a bad position because I'm at times won't even be home, so I'm going to be left behind like hardcore unless I'm like sure going to be home for a while.
That would literally devastate me if I didn't have access.
That's the thing is like it's like whatever, because I like Destiny at time, but I'm nowhere near as big a fan as you. But Destiny is like something you're always coming back to. So I actually feel fine like putting Destiny down to play other stuff because I know I'm always coming back to Destiny throughout. Lord, how many years is Destiny 2 going to last? Probably. So I feel like that's a good one. I'm definitely hyped for it, but that's definitely not my most anticipated. I am very hyped for it though.
There's just something about like that kind of game for me. Just the RPG loot based game. It just they always get their claws into me, and I absolutely love the journey of leveling up and then doing the in game content. It's an absolute blast. So. Excited to return to Destiny for sure because it's been quite a while. I haven't played it since last year, so I'm super excited to go back.
Yeah, you heard they're wrapping up. I think it's Trials and Iron Banner.
I heard that
at least for a little while.
First week of August or something.
So it's kind of sad. I mean, I didn't keep up with it often, but it is sad to hear. I have some great memories in Destiny 1, but I got to be honest. I'm not even really hyped for Destiny 2. I'm just waiting for it. I mean, I'm definitely going to play it. Don't get me wrong. I'm mostly excited just to play with you guys, of course, in the community we have as well. Anyone who wants to play with us. But
I'm genuinely curious, like how big our clan will be. Like,
yeah,
I think a lot of people
I know
are
a lot of you out
it.
there already have clans of your own. But if you don't have one, you have any interest in joining, It's Obvious Gaming, aka the Space Boys. Plenty of slots available to join. So, but yeah, it's weird because I'm not even really excited for it. But I'm not excited for the game itself, but I'm excited to play with everyone. If that sounds, I know that probably sounds weird, but it looks good. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not my most anticipated. But I'm looking forward to leveling up my Guardian over time.
Well, what would that be?
Have you seen the Arc Strider gameplay? The Super?
The only thing I've seen is from the original gameplay reveal. Just a glimpse of it.
People had access to that subclass at E3.
Okay.
It looks so cool.
Nice.
You thought Blade Dancer looked awesome. Like this one, you're doing freaking twirls and
nice.
You're like an acrobat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I passed by the Activision booth several times, and all the dudes playing Destiny look like they're having a good time. So I wanted to play it.
See Deej.
Who's Deej?
He's their community manager.
No, I don't know anyone.
You never seen Deej before?
From Bungie.
No.
I mean, I knew some of them from the Halo days, but.
Yeah. I feel like everyone, Deej, right?
I know of Deej. I don't know what he looks like.
I probably recognize him if I saw him. So.
Guess I'm just a fanboy.
It's okay.
I guess so. Garrett, what's your most anticipated game?
There's so many. It's so hard. It really depends on my mood. My mood shifts a lot, but as of this moment, due to my busy schedule, I mean, I've always had a heart for arena shooters, but since they're short and sweet experiences, that's what I'm mostly invested in now when I have time. So I got to say, I'm probably most excited for, and I know Call of Duty isn't necessarily an arena shooter, but it's a fast-paced shooter, and I'm excited because it's going back to its World War II setting. Very excited for the narrative and the story, and I love me some multiplayer shooting action.
I did not think you'd pick Call of Duty.
I'm not saying it is Call of Duty, but that's up there for sure. I'm also excited for Wolfenstein, because obviously Wolfenstein, The New Order was fantastic. But
this one's called the Old Colossus.
This one's called the New Colossus.
The New Colossus.
It's confusing because it's the New Order, then the Old Blood, and now the New Colossus. So it's a little confusing. But pumped for that, and of course Mario I'm freaking out for, especially to take it on the go. Everywhere I'm always constantly having to go somewhere, so that's awesome as well. Gosh, it's so hard. If Lawbreakers was coming in the fall, I'd say Lawbreakers. That's more of a summer title. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm also struggling with my tummy pains right now. It's really distracting.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So tell me why you're so excited for Lawbreakers. Like, I know it's like this gravity-based shooter, but like, I haven't really been interested in it. So like, what is it?
It's really just,
why is it cool?
It's just my heart for, like I said, arena shooters. Like, for example, if Quake Champions ever came to consoles, I'd crap my pants. Like, I'm basically about to crap them now, unintentionally. Quake Champions looks so good, and me and Preston dabbled in the Unreal Tournament demo back in the day. That's really what's sparked my interest and passion for them. And, of course, playing Halo and stuff back in the day, and now most recently Doom. Of course, I want to play Quake Champions so bad, but Lawbreakers, the fact that it's coming to consoles is fantastic. And all the gameplay I've seen just looks really cool. And it's very unique in the sense that it's gravity-based and you're always flying around going crazy, which is the direct opposite of what people have been asking for. People want boots in the ground, which of course I do, especially in Call of Duty. And the fact that Cliffy B's games I've been a big fan of since the Gears days. And like I said, just the way he talks about his games gets me hyped. So yeah. I'm excited to give it a shot because short and sweet experiences, multiplayer only. So something that will fill up those brief hours of the week that I have to play games. So I'm tempted to say Call of Duty, but I feel like it'd be blasphemous considering Mario's coming out the week before. But Mordor's up there. I'm going to say that Mordor, Wolfenstein, and Call of Duty are major honorable mentions for me. But I'm going to say Mario because practically speaking, not only does it look great, but taking it on the go is an added benefit for me as well. So I'm going to say Mario Odyssey is my most anticipated game of the fall. 2017.
That's a good pick.
Okay.
That 3 Switch games are like high up on my list, from Rabbids to Mario, especially Xenoblade. I'm going to get so up the
What about
Skyrim
on Switch, dude?
Yeah,
what if we played it on Switch and PlayStation VR?
At the same time.
Exactly, dude. Or you can VR at home and Switch on the go, so you can never stop playing.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
I love the Skyrim comments. Someone's like, what if Skyrim just came out forever? That was so funny. It's so many versions of it, but
yeah.
I am so hyped.
Are there, though? There
really
talked about this last week.
There's previous generation version.
Yeah.
There's the remastered version.
Enhanced edition.
Enhanced, yeah. The Switch version is coming and now VR.
Yeah.
And then there's PC. But PC and consoles came at the same time, so that's 4.
I mean, the PC was just like even if you had Skyrim, it's like just an update. Like,
exactly.
I don't think you had to pay for it.
Right. So
and they've had mods forever, so their games have been looking better than enhanced version probably looks like way before it even came out.
But that is a funny joke that's been floating around.
You ever seen gameplay of Skyrim on PC?
Oh yeah, plenty.
Yeah, it looks great.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a whole new game.
Yeah, when I inevitably pick up a gaming PC, of course I want it for all these wonderful shooters, but games I have to pick up are Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim, of course, and Fallout, purely for mods, because mods fascinate me.
I almost ruined my marriage before it even began, Garrett.
How's that?
Because I almost bought a gaming PC like 2 days ago.
No way.
You guys, yeah. I almost dropped like $1,500.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I made the decision.
I had my credit card out and everything. It was like typing and everything.
Where were you gonna get it?
I found. I went through tons of forums. I forgot what it was. I think it was like. It was like an MSI. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. It was.
You should go Dell. I don't know.
It was full on, like it said you can play. I don't know. I think that's my problem right there. Is I was buying a pre-built PC, but it was easily. It was like on a PC magazine's like, if you're gonna buy something, get this. It was like 4K ready, even though I wouldn't be able to get a 4K monitor because those were like $600. I was just gonna get a 1080p monitor.
You can always get one later.
Yeah, it was like VR ready. It was like supposed to be like badass. I forgot what graphic card. It was like a 1080i, I think. Yeah. GTX 1080i. I don't know. But with everything combined, it was going to be like $1,500. I know I should probably know more before I bought it, but through what I was reading, I was like, this sounds good, I guess.
Well, explain to me how this came about. Was it just a random feeling?
It was random. I was just like, I want to do this. And then I just started thinking about it. I was like, well, what am I going to play?
Quake.
I was just thinking, I was like,
that's what I'd play.
Right now, I'm playing like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I could play it on PC.
Play a PlayerUnknown's Battle.
Yeah, but I'm not getting trophies. So I might.
You know what? F you, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like everything I want to play right now.
That may eventually
I
come
can get trophies.
PS4.
What?
PlayerUnknown's.
Oh, I read something about that. I'm not really interested. That's the thing is, I'm not really interested to play
that game.
Either.
I think it looks amazing. I want to play it. So I'm not like hyped for it, but every time I see highlights from that game, like that looks so entertaining. I want to play it.
I was listening to something where the guy that whatever company made that guy they made like $100 million or something.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous,
insane like that.
Every single game we went through, all of it, I'm playing on stuff I have right now. Every single thing.
Yeah.
So I just was thinking about that. I was just like, first of all, Lizzie will literally slit my throat, and y'all will never hear from me again if I just spend $1,500 out of nowhere.
Where would you put it? Would you put it on that
I would
table?
have hit it on. Oh yeah, I'd have put it on my table. Okay. I don't know. I would have come
It's
up with
amazing.
something.
Jacob's been to your house before I have.
I know. It shows you this is a real friend here.
Exactly. It's a shame.
You can come spend the night tonight if you want to.
Okay.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, it is.
I know. Right. I just made it.
Yeah, Preston makes it every week.
But yeah, I talked myself out of it, and I'm glad. That would have been a bad decision. Honestly, I probably would have just bought Black Desert Online. The first thing I would have done.
I think I've made a decision to build one because you save a ton of money.
Yeah, you really do.
After doing a ton of research, like that's the conclusion I've made. I just need to suck it up and do even more research to figure out what I need and what I want to spend.
There are cool builder websites where it like lays out.
Yeah, you can even just go to like Alienware, for example. You just go to their website, just pick like, the rig you want, then just pick all the different parts you want to put in it. Like, or you can just completely build it yourself.
Them building it for you though is like how much more money though?
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like you can customize through their website or any PC's website.
So, well, I guess back to the topic. I guess my as I was saying, my Switch, I'm definitely hyped. I feel like from Nintendo's E3, my purchase of the Switch, I already thought I was justified with Zelda because of how much I freaking love that, and Mario Kart, completely fine with it. But knowing that Mario Rabbids, Xenoblade 2, and Odyssey is coming out this holiday, holy crap, I'm so excited to get all three of those games, and I'm going to play the ever-living snot out of Xenoblade 2. Like, that's going to be my next probably like Persona, where I just like dive into that and just am just committed to it completely. When I pick it up due to that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up this holiday because there's so many other things, obviously, that I want to play this holiday season that I don't know if I can just completely dedicate myself to a game that's probably going to be that long. Especially one that I can take on the go. Like that's definitely one to save. But I am hyped for my Switch, and I'm super glad I own one. But I guess I don't know. I agree with pretty much everything you said in the sense of Mordor looks cool. I cannot wait for World War II. Cannot wait for that campaign, and I know I'm probably going to play a ton of that multiplayer. I'm actually pumped for Battlefront 2's campaign. Yeah. I'm excited for that Hellblade game.
I totally forgot to mention Battlefront.
Really cool. I know that's early August, but Hellblade looks awesome.
It does.
Dishonored DLC. Love Dishonored. Lost Legacy. I'm really excited to play
Horizon DLC this fall.
Yeah, Horizon DLC. The more I'm
stressed out.
I would have to say, though, I am most hyped for Wolfenstein. I love the New Order. It's one of my favorite FPSs of all time. Everything we've seen so far for the new Colossus looks absolutely incredible. I love the characters they've shown so far. Just this new version of America. Just I know I referenced that diner scene with the Nazi soldier. Just I want to see what happens right after that so bad. I love the enemy, that older woman. She was freaking awesome in the first game. And just knowing that the game starts off with you on a wheelchair, like rolling around, like slaughtering people, that just sounds like the craziest game.
That's like so Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I know. And I know Pete Hines a while ago said that what Machine Games is working on before the new Colossus was confirmed is like effing nuts and stuff, and he was completely 100% on it. But I love the New Order so much, and I'm probably actually going to go back and beat it. Either that or I know I have to. Yeah, they're not that long. I already have the collector's edition pre-ordered for it, so I'm just super pumped for that, and that probably is beating everything else out by a minuscule, because there just are a ton of great games coming out. But as of now, like in my gut, which like we were talking, it could change depending on my mood. But right now, if I could have any of these games, I'd probably get Wolfenstein, because I really want to first person shooter.
It kind of makes sense because you really like story campaigns and shooters, and that's pretty much what Wolfenstein is.
Yeah, that's what it excels at, which is why I am excited for World War II and Battlefront 2. But I know just the main focus of Wolfenstein is that really long, like cool single player campaign.
I've always wanted to go back and play the Old Blood DLC.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It is really good. It's pretty lengthy too. I actually was thinking about going and finishing up that platinum for it. So I know I was like halfway through on the hardest difficulty or whatever, but I stopped for some reason. But the New Order's really good game to platinum too. Not too hard. rewarding. So if anybody hasn't played New Order, absolutely go get that. I've seen it on flash sale several times for like $10, which is like a steal for that game. So freaking good.
Definitely.
So, but I think that should wrap it up for our most anticipated game.
Definitely
for this fall.
a jam-packed fall again, but I'd rather have more than less, personally. Well, I sort of mean that. maybe I don't mean that, but it's exciting to have all these games coming out, but at the same time, you have to pick and choose, which really bums me out, especially in a time where I'm very, very low on funds.
Yeah, so. I just hate that feeling where like, oh man, especially on the 27th with all 3 of those games coming out, just knowing in the back of your head that there's like a Mario game and you're not playing it right.
No matter what you do, you're going to miss out on something.
I'm going to do my best to pick up 2 of them, and they will for sure be Wolfenstein and Mario.
Yeah. I think
I'm going to set money aside to pick up both in the same day.
I think Assassin's Creed is definitely... I kind of put Watch Dogs 2 in the back burner, but I heard so many positive things about it that I picked it up, and I did enjoy it.
I'm going to play through Assassin's Creed in December, I think.
Okay.
If I'm not playing everything else that came out in October.
That's the thing is, like, if I have free time, I'm probably like, all right, time to go, up in Xenoblade. Right. But... Legend of Zelda story DLC is coming out too. How long is that? How long is that going to take on my time? Dude. Garrett, what do I do?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
There's just you could help me. Much.
Say that one more time.
I wanted you to help me.
What was it you're trying to figure out?
What do I do?
About all these games?
Just
stop playing video games. Okay. That's how you solve every problem. You just stop doing whatever it is that's stressing you out.
Okay.
Good call.
So. Excellent.
I pick up gardening instead.
Yeah.
There you go.
You never have to worry about which flowers are coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
Gardening. Have you guys ever gardened before? Like actually planted flowers?
I've like
and stuff?
Helped.
Yeah, I've like assisted.
It's actually strangely like kind of fun.
Therapeutic?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's kind of the same thing as like mowing the yard or something. Just taking care of.
I got to be honest. I can do yard work, but I hate every minute of it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We need a VR gardening game.
Except for mowing the lawn. I can deal with mowing the lawn, but anything else in the yard...
Anything where you got to bend over.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Laying pine straw is my worst nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Laying pine straw sucks.
Sucks so bad.
I do hate that. Yeah.
Your hands get all dry.
You can get poked
if you don't
wear
gloves.
Mm-hmm. I'm slightly allergic to it, so my ankles get itchy.
Mm. I've heard that before. I think like my aunt or something has that allergy. I know that's random, but she does.
Thanks.
Pine straw allergies, they suck.
They do.
Speaking of which...
speaking of community questions.
Yeah, brings us to community questions.
What's your favorite type of pine straw?
Yeah. But this is Community Questions, the portion of the show that is our personal favorite because we can communicate with each of you directly. A huge shout out to all of you who took time to send us questions this week and the last week and the previous week and all the weeks before that we're still playing catch up on for either this podcast or Ask IOG, which we'll eventually catch up on, hopefully in the coming weeks, if not this week, as we mentioned before. So we're excited about it. But again, if you'd like to reach us, you can reach us at obvious_gaming on Twitter. You can send us an email at ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com or submit your question in the Ask IOG section on our Discord channel. All that info is found in the description of all of our YouTube videos. And we'd love to hear from you guys. Even if you just want to talk, just send us a message or a comment. We'd love to talk to you guys. But always remember, include the hashtag AskIOG if you want it read on one of our 2 shows. With that being said, the first one comes from Mr. Matthew Durkin. Boise says, howdy, gents. Which of your favorite video game characters would you want to see produce a child, assuming that temperament is always inherited from both parents? For example, Lara Croft and Nathan Drake would make one badass treasure hunter, or Master Chief and Samus would make the ultimate
murderer.
True. Or Master Chief and Samus would make the ultimate alien slayer. How do you guys feel about this? Who do you think would make, which pair would make a great child? Start looking around the room for inspiration.
Oh, wow.
This is tough, man. I mean, Lara Croft and Nathan Drake is always a go-to for sure.
Give me Link and Geralt.
Link and Geralt.
Fused together.
Fused?
Yes.
Okay.
Just porking each other.
Porking.
Ooh, wow.
They don't have that many differences. Link just talks less and doesn't bang as many girls.
Geralt will do all the talking, but Link, he has all the special sauce. I don't know what I'm saying.
What the hell are you talking about?
Link has a fairy.
Yeah.
I have one.
Okay.
I'll actually take Geralt.
Okay.
and make. Actually, we can't even say Geralt. He's sterilized.
You're right.
He physically can't have children.
He doesn't have to worry about it though. So
He's
that
out
must
of the
be nice.
conversation.
He's out of the conversation. Who would Aloy have great babies with?
I was thinking about Aloy.
Aloy and Link. Aloy and Link would have.
But they kind of have the exact same abilities.
They would be supercharged.
That's boring. How about Aloy and someone else?
and
Aloy and the
Batman.
Doomslayer. How about
Yeah,
that?
Aloy and the
There we
Doomslayer.
go.
There we go. Sounds good.
I don't know. And
Laura Croft and Corvo.
yeah, that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
What about a Ninja Turtle and
Hey, which
what's
one?
the girl's name from Bayonetta?
Bayonetta. Is her name Bayonetta?
I think so.
Is that her name?
I think that's
it is.
Yeah, she might have a first name.
Yeah, I
or
think her
something,
name
but-
is Bayonetta.
Okay, so Bayonetta and Raphael.
Okay.
God, it's like a sexualized turtle.
Oh man.
Princess Peach and Franklin from Grand Theft Auto.
Oh man. Oh, that would
They're
be
talking about Franklin from the Franklin Show.
Little turtle.
you got a sour and sweet child there.
Yeah.
A very child raised in a very conflicted home, I'd imagine. One's very sweet and innocent. The other one's murderous and insane.
Yeah.
This question stumped me.
It's a tough one. It's
They're
tougher than I
both
thought.
told one's raised in the streets to eat mushrooms for different reasons than from his mother's upbringing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Mario and
Joanna Dark from Perfect Zero.
yeah, how about that?
Perfect Zero? Is that what it's called?
Is it Perfect Dark Zero?
Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Perfect Zero. Or I
Was
think her
Perfect
name's
Dark Zero
Joanna.
one of the more recent titles that came out a few years ago?
No. Was it? Perfect.
Because I know there's one called
Dark
Perfect Dark Zero.
Zero.
I know there's just Perfect Dark as well.
Yeah, it's Perfect Dark Zero.
Okay.
Yeah. It got an 8.4 from IGN. What?
Why are you shocked?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I thought that game sucked.
Oh, way to judge something before playing it.
It's got an
asshole.
81 on Metacritic. I never played it, but I thought it was always regarded as like not a good game.
Well, it seems you were
Wow.
wrong, Preston.
Okay.
Waller in it. This is hard. I can't think of anything else, I don't think. This is why we rely on our wonderful community to come up with concoctions of your own. Who do you think would make great children? Any final saves from you, gentlemen?
I don't know, Garrett.
I always look around my room and there's nothing. Why do I keep trying? There's nothing, dude. There's a bunch of dudes on my wall.
Yeah.
Except for, what's her name from Rogue One? Jen Urso. Up in the
Okay.
corner there.
Yep.
Yeah, I got nothing, guys. I'm sorry.
I think we gave it a valiant
Yeah, I think
try.
my favorite is
Sorry.
Raphael and Bayonetta
Bayonetta.
for sure.
Okay.
They make a turtle hybrid child with swords and what do you call those knives that Raphael uses a specific name for them?
Katanas?
No.
No.
Katana. Katana's what Leonardo
You don't
wields.
even know Japanese weaponry, dude.
Those
Sorry, it's
those
something I
daggers
should
have a
know.
very specific name.
Are they called like scythes or
Are you looking them
something?
up right now?
Yeah.
Man, I got a
No,
dump
scythe
so
is that
bad.
thing that a Reaper
The Grim
has.
Reaper uses. They're size.
Size?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
SAI.
Size.
Yeah.
It's
That's kind
size.
of right. I said scythes. I knew it was kind of something like that.
Scythes,
You know what's funny? I feel like Bayonetta and a classic Ninja Turtle design would create one of the turtles we have today in Michael Bay's produced Ninja Turtle movies because they sort of have human elements to them.
Okay.
That's the idea I have in mind of this child. Maybe with Bayonetta's colored skin, but it looks like a Ninja Turtle. I'm getting disturbed now. Let's move on. Andreas123 says, so I've had a PSN account since early PS3. I'm a level 13 on the PSN listing, and I have numerous collector's editions of games. Yet, I do not have any platinum trophies. So, Preston, am I a classified trophy bitch?
Pretty much.
Yeah, remember when we discussed that a week or two ago? Something about trophy bitches. How did that come up?
But
What
if
did
I
we
have
say?
a collector's edition and I don't get the platinums,
Oh,
I'd feel like a bitch or
okay.
something.
If you're looking to get a platinum, I don't know if he is, but Horizon's a very easy one, and it's a fun game. So
Yeah, not only is it easy, but I feel like you really do get the most out of that game by platinuming it.
Yeah.
Because you see every inch of the world and you do I mean, that goes for most games. If you get the platinum trophy, you do everything you can do in
I
the
just
game.
want to say, he's at level 13.
Mhm.
I started my PlayStation account PS4 launch, and I just hit level 20 last week.
You know, Preston, you're being a real douchebag. So is he a classified trophy bitch or not?
I mean, if you're gonna, I'm not gonna take back what I said. So just, I'm not gonna call you a trophy bitch. But
I don't have any collector's editions, do I? I don't. I've never bought a collector's edition of anything.
Fallout 4, and you have the platinum.
Oh, you're right. So I'm not a trophy bitch.
You're not a trophy
Nice.
Jacob doesn't have the platinum for Overwatch yet, so
I'm not gonna get
that
it.
means I'm gonna have to platinum Spider-Man PS4 because I have every intention.
Why wouldn't you?
I have every intention of getting that collector's edition.
Absolutely.
You know, there's gonna be a kick-ass statue for that game.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for that.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Well, Andreas, it's okay. You still have time. Logan,
if the shoe fits,
there's still time.
That's all I'm gonna say.
What was that?
If the shoe fits, that's all I'm gonna say.
If the boot fits.
Yeah.
Lumberjack Bear. Lumberjack Bear. I wanted to say Lumber Bear Jack for some reason. Have y'all seen the Sega trailer that is kind of alluding to Sega changing their name to, quote, Amazing Sega? I'm not 100% sure that's what the trailer was saying because it was very cryptic. It was very cryptic because that's what I took out of it. I know it's very unlikely, but would y'all think of Sega making a comeback, possibly making a next-gen console? I was just interested to hear your thoughts. In May, Sega announced... Oh yeah, this is what I wrote down because I was curious because I watched that trailer as well. But in May, Sega did announce that they were planning to revive their major IPs between now and 2020. So I don't know if that trailer was purely to be like, look, we're Sega, we're bringing back all these renowned IPs. Or if they plan to make a console kind of like Atari's been teasing, I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming this was before the Sega Forever announcement was made.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the answer right there is that I think it was just a trailer for Sega Forever.
Yeah, I think that might
I know they
be...
did say something about, like you said, about the IPs, but their big thing, I think that came from it, was that service.
Which is is it on mobile?
Yeah, it's on iOS, Android. Which, why I would never play any of those games on my phone.
Wow.
Put that on Switch. Put that service on Switch.
Amen, brother.
Now we're talking.
Yep.
Now we're talking. I don't want to play
second the notion.
Sonic the Hedgehog on my touchscreen. Or Altered Beast.
That would be awful.
Or anything like that. Yeah. It's essentially what every Sega game ever, like old school one, that you can just play on your phone. No thank you.
No, I can't blame them. I get why they want to do that because I know this sounds like such a stupid thing to say, but it is a fact that mobile is the largest platform for gaming because everyone has a cell phone. Obviously, it's going to be the biggest platform. So I can see, they're like, oh, that's the biggest platform. More people can get their hands on these games. But from gamers like ourselves and many of those that tune into this podcast, obviously that's not ideal to play a game like that on mobile, especially on the touchscreen. But I can see their thinking behind
controller, but that's just too much.
I can see their thinking as to why they've made the decision, but
I mean, Sega's been putting out mobile games. Like I think you could, before this was even revealed, you could play Sonic 1 through 3.
Right.
Maybe CD was on there on mobile and stuff. So
and before I forget, speaking of playing games on mobile, Jacob, I meant to mention to you that I played a little bit of Hearthstone at work the other night. Now that I've remembered, I think I may even play tonight as well while I'm sitting there doing nothing.
Why don't you take your Switch?
I can, but that's a little more obvious. Yeah. I can make it look like I'm taking notes or something on my phone, but the Switch is a little too blatantly obvious that I'm playing video games. But I went back into Hearthstone, I played a ranked match, and I defeated my opponent exponentially with Jaina, the mage. That's her name, right, Jaina?
Yes. Jaina Proudmore.
That's right. And I vanquished him. I was quite proud of myself. I even adjusted my deck a bit because I had like 6 or 7 packs to unlock that had just come out over the course of the updates. Unlocked a ton of new awesome cards, and I customized my deck, and I succeeded. That was great. It's a fun little game to dabble in.
What rank were you?
I have no idea. I'm not high by any means, but I'm certainly not low. I'm just not way up there.
Okay.
It was great, Jacob. When was the last time you played Hearthstone?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's been months.
Well, I had a great time.
I didn't play it like at all last year, so
I look forward to playing again tonight. The last one comes from Mr. Rowan Cross.
Oh.
It says, here's a pretty spoilery one. What death in a video game has impacted you most? Spoiler alert from Mass Effect 3. Mine is definitely Legion or Tally from Mass Effect 3.
I guess that depends on your choice, too.
I don't really want to say anything because it will be a spoiler, I guess.
The biggest death to affect me, we've talked about it numerous times on this podcast anyways, is the death of John Marston. Easily. That one got me. That one got me pretty good.
You know, I've never been affected by a death in any medium. I don't know why.
Even John Marston didn't get you?
No, I was not sad at all. I was like, that's
really.
I'm more of a situation where I'm not saddened. I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Like that's a sucky thing.
I was
to happen.
devastated. because it just took me off. I can't really think of a game where you as a main character just get destroyed in the end. Like, it's not like he had a valiant. I mean, he did have a valiant death, but typically, I don't know. I imagine it being a lot more glamorous than him just literally walking out of a barn and just getting lit up. That one got me by surprise and definitely made me sad. I was heartbroken after that.
Yeah, I recall you saying that.
Yeah, it's just you going through the struggle of just doing everything for his family, and they trick you by letting you live like a couple of days in peace. Dude, have you played it?
No.
Red Dead? You literally, I know this is spoilery, but you should have played it by now. The last couple of missions are you spend the entire game working for the government, finding your old gang to get your family back. You go through hell, like going through Mexico and back across, finding all these members. You finally get them, and the government gives you your family back, and you go back home, and like for 3 or 4 missions, you have your son, your wife, all is well. You are just like herding cattle, everything's fine. Then the government shows up for you, and they're like, all right, we've come for you. And then you get your family to safety, and you're in a barn, and you push them out. And I just wasn't even. It's seeing it now. It's very obvious that he's like getting his family out of the way, and he just walks up to these barn doors and just goes, and just opens them, and it goes into the slowdown time where you can mark enemies, and you mark as many as you can, and you're just like ba da da da, and then they're just like goes into a cutscene, and they're just like, gosh, how many, like 20 dudes,
just unloading
into you, and the camera goes, and you are just like. It's not like you're on the ground. Holes. You are like decomposing, and you just fall down.
Is this rated M?
Yeah.
It's very violent.
I remember just going like, oh, like I was in shock seeing that.
What a way to end.
So I know that's probably the only death in game where it literally choked me up. I don't know, because you just like, you feel for him so bad. He's done tons of bad crap, and he's trying to like make up for that, like, and he's trying to do right and have a family. Like, he left that game to start a family and like make an honest living, owning a farm and stuff, and his past eventually catches up to him.
Kind of like the arms dealer in Persona 5. Yeah,
I guess. He doesn't go out.
Same exact
he doesn't
story.
go out like John Marston, but yeah, that's I think, unless I'm just forgetting something, which I feel like if I was actually impacted by it, I wouldn't forget it. But that's always the one that, when it comes to saddest endings or saddest deaths, Red Dead always comes to my mind first.
Yeah, the death of Johnson kind of bummed me out in Halo 3 at the end. I'm trying to remember his quote. I'm such a big Halo 3 fan, I can't remember the quote off the top of my head all of a sudden, but what he says to Master Chief, again, I wasn't sad. I was just like, oh, that sucks. You played through so many games with him, and he's one of your greatest allies, and he's one of the best characters in the series, and he goes out at the end. I was also sad watching Garrus die at the end of Mass Effect 3, because I chose him in my final run towards the ship, because you have to pick your squad, and it's like, you're all going to die. And I was like, well, Garrus has been with me through everything, so of course I'm going to pick Garrus. And we had that conversation where he's like, it's been a good ride. And like, we basically know we're both dead. And just going through that part, and then you get up off the ground for that big explosion or whatever, and Garrus is just destroyed in front of you, just dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a terrible sight. Even though I knew it was coming, it was just sad to see him like that.
I think an obvious one is Deckard Cain from Diablo 3.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sad one.
It's a devastating loss.
Yeah, it is. Back. That is sad.
Right before he died, he made the sword whole.
Yep.
What a true legend.
He's a hero.
Yeah.
He's definitely a hero. There's been a few in there that have bummed me out.
What about the robot from Infinite Warfare?
I was going to say just...
Oh, yeah. The ending of Infinite Warfare is emotional.
That made me a little teary.
Yeah, I don't like saying that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare kind of made me a little clammy at the
There's
end.
just really fantastic character development in that game.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll
easy
never
to get
forget
attached
the
to
ending of Infinite Warfare. Just like that feeling.
I actually sat through the credits of that game.
So did I.
Listening to all the audio logs that game ends with. So.
Yeah. That's such a shame to hate that. I mean, I realize
that
there is...
game gets so much.
Yeah, there is a fan base that appreciates, especially the campaign for what it is. I totally understand everyone's distaste for the multiplayer, but There is that fan base that appreciates the campaign. I'm sure Infinity Ward's aware of the appreciation that people that have played the campaign have for the game. Because I don't ever do this. I actually sent them a tweet thanking them for the campaign because I thought it was that good.
Oh, wow.
So
Did they respond?
No, they didn't, but I saw other people doing that. I just want them to see that there are people that enjoy it because they put so much work into that campaign. I was so impressed by it that I just want them to be aware that we do appreciate it. Please don't.
Yeah.
I want that effort to be put into their future
I know
games.
they see it with the sales because that game still sold a ton of copies and stuff. But man, have you ever just gone through, like, I follow Call of Duty pages on Facebook and stuff. Facebook is the worst place on planet Earth to look at video game stuff.
Is it? Is it worse than YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Way worse.
No way.
Go to a Call of Duty thing involving Infinite Warfare whatsoever on Facebook and look at the comments. It is just a cesspool of idiots not knowing anything about gaming in general and just crapping on it just to crap on it. Like, it's just awful. So, I mean, if you would go off just the comments on any Call of Duty page at all, you would think that it never sells any copies, you know, and that it is the most hated franchise on the face of planet Earth and stuff.
Bummer.
But it does pain me because they're Infinite Warfare on those particular like comment things and stuff is referred to as like, it's the worst Call of Duty of all time. So
how do you feel about your sacrifice at the end of Fallout 3? Did that make you sad after your fantastic journey in that game?
No, because you don't actually die.
Do you not?
No.
What happens at the end? I thought you're dead. That is not vividly what I remember.
Not with the Brotherhood of... Not with the expansion pack.
Okay, see, I never played it. I mean, I played some of the DLC, but not all of it. I guess technically you're right. Because I was under the impression that it just takes place before you go kill yourself. All DLC.
This,
it takes place
the
after.
Final piece, Broken Steel. Yeah,
I never played that one.
They're like, oh, you're alive.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So,
Oh, you're a big Fallout 3 fan.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big DLC guy.
You never played that
in
one?
general.
No, it was great. It continued everything.
No, I just played.
You could literally blow up. You could side with the Enclave and blow up the Pentagon.
Is that the one where he plays a giant robot? I know they have that in Fallout 4 too, but there's one DLC where there's the giant.
It opens with Liberty Prime going towards something.
Maybe
but
I did play that
he gets blown up like at the very beginning.
Okay, I can't remember. It's been so long.
It was a good piece of DLC.
Maybe I just was totally unaware of the narrative that you're alive again.
Yeah,
you could actually, I'm playing the game.
Yeah, you actually like see the effects of that the water purity thing that your dad did, like clean water is being shipped places and stuff, so you can actually see that
so it paid off
of that. Yeah,
and you live to fight another day.
Yeah,
that's good.
So because of the DLC, I guess technically in every game you're alive. You just have to buy the DLC to open your eyes. So
yeah, I can't think of any other deaths. Can you?
No, I can't really. We can be sad for the thousands upon thousands of people that we have
killed
murdered.
in video games. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Easily hundreds of thousands, probably at this point.
Even the demons in Doom.
Oh yeah, of course. All of them deserve to die.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I'm sure if anybody I'm not going to say anything.
What?
Nothing. I almost spoiled something of a recent game.
All right.
So I almost was going to say a franchise that nobody has died, but then I guess in turn that's a spoiler. So I'm not going to say it.
That's true. All right.
But I think that'll do. Is that all our community questions?
Yeah, that's everything.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for those questions, guys.
I know it was a little brief, but we're saving some of the other ones for Ask IOG.
Ask IOG. Garrett, if I wanted to ask a question to us, what do I do?
I already said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I said it when we went into community questions.
Fine, then.
Yeah. I mean, I can say it again if you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
It doesn't hurt to say it again.
Yeah, I mean, just Twitter, obvious_gaming. You can either private message us or just tweet at us. Our Discord channel, the Ask IOG section, or our email address, ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com. And if you want it read on the show, use the hashtag AskIOG, and we will read it on either here or Ask IOG, the show itself.
Thank you for the repeat, Garrett.
Absolutely.
That was episode 107 of the It's Obvious Gaming podcast, the show where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games, obviously. If you are listening to us anywhere besides YouTube, please check us out at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming and please subscribe. You can find all of our content here, including the video version of this podcast. We have Let's Plays. We have the occasional unboxing, which we very rarely do anymore. We do other things besides the podcast primarily Let's Plays.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to want to check those out, especially if you're fans of our podcast. But also, if you're not subscribed to us on iTunes, please go subscribe to us there. Even if you don't listen to us there, it still helps us out a ton. And leave us a review if you enjoy it as well. Is there anything else I'm missing, guys?
We have new reviews.
Do we?
We do.
Oh, I mentioned 2 last week that were new. I didn't say their names though.
Okay.
So this is Iani Flores.
All right.
_ Flores.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, they're all 5-star reviews. We have 35 5-star reviews.
What a miracle.
Yeah.
Now that
One
you
day we'll
said
get
that,
a 1.
Yeah, we're going to get a 1 for sure.
Then the next one is Jacob Alka's Sexy Nips.
I forgot that's the name.
Yes.
So that's the full name, Jacob Alka's Sexy Nips.
I'm honored.
Yeah, they know what's up, man.
And then there was one this last Sunday. Well, I guess it'll be 2 Sundays from after this goes up.
Okay.
But someone named Mr. J-Man816. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very
J-Man.
much.
It's very nice of you.
Yes.
Hang on.
I need to
Oh,
go back.
never mind.
Yeah, I'm
Never
back.
mind. It's fine. It's fine. But gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure discussing video games with you guys, and I look forward to in another week where I can talk to you again about video games.
Absolutely. And be sure to stay tuned to the channel. As I said, we're getting back on our normal schedule of Let's Plays and hopefully some Twitch streams as well. And of course, we'll tweet about all that and talk to you guys in Discord. We're looking forward to it.
I feel like we haven't done any content lately.
We have. I mean, technically, we had roughly the same amount of content we typically have in a week last week. It just feels like it because we haven't shot anything in so long.
Right. I'm not complaining. I kind of miss it.
Right. Yeah, no, we're going to get back to it for sure.
Actually, me and Garrett have been doing a lot of stuff. We just
haven't let
keep
you
out
know.
of it.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, we've been doing a lot of...
as long as we're pumping out content.
A lot of Tetris, mostly. We're going to do a Tetris series.
Nice.
So.
Yeah.
What
about Bejeweled?
We've been considering Bejeweled as well.
Guys, why isn't Bejeweled on the Switch? That's the real travesty here.
It is. It's a great point.
I would think that would be on there. Seems like a good game for Switch.
Time will
What
tell.
about Peggle?
Puyo.
Did you say Peggle?
Peggle?
Say that one more time.
Peggle?
Are you kidding me, Jacob?
What is it supposed to be called?
Peggle?
How do you spell that?
Peggle.
Wait, one more. Slowly?
Peggle.
Okay. Peggle. How do you spell bagel?
Bagel? Is that bagel?
No.
Is it just E?
Bagel is Bagel, and Peggle is PE.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I spelled bagel.
It's Peggle. Bagel. So I'm just making fun of the way you pronounce it. It's like Zach when he pronounces Florida. I'm like, where's the A in Florida? Do you say New York, or Georgia? Why do you say Florida? Sorry. Just make fun.
How is that wrong for Florida?
Florida? There's no A. It's F-A.
There is an A in Florida.
Yeah. And
at the very end.
It's F-L-O-R, not F-L-A-R. Florida, not Florida.
Florida.
If you pronounce Florida like that, you might as well say Georgia and New York.
Man, you're a real jerk.
California.
Making fun of people for saying things weird.
Cream cheese on that.
You never make fun of him for saying naked. Whatever you do.
Naked.
I don't even think that's how he pronounces it.
What do you say again?
Naked.
No, that's definitely silly, but I mean, that's just what he does, I guess. I mean, that's just, you pronounce Peggle. I just think it's fun. I mean, I pronounce things weird. You know, question is pronounced question, but I say question with a sh, like a sh, be quiet. It doesn't have an SH in there, but I say question, not question.
I say frustrated instead of frustrated.
Yeah, it's like you mix flustered and frustrated. It's kind of unique if you think about it. Because you can be both. Flustered and frustrated.
I guess.
Frustrated.
Yeah, that's what I actually mean. I'm just combining the two terms together. Okay. Like if you're hangry.
Right.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's hangry quite often.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would she be hangry if she heard you say that?
Probably. She knows I'm just teasing her, though.
Instantaneous.
Yeah. But yeah, or how did we...
What? I don't know.
Peggle would... Peggle would make an excellent Switch title for sure.
Yes.
I really do mean that. That's actually a great suggestion.
Well, I guess that'll do it for this week. Thanks for tuning
everyone,
in, guys.
Tweet at Nintendo and tell them we want Peggle on the Switch. I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm taking it too far.
It's really not that funny.
It's too funny. But
I think the two ways of saying it sound almost the same.
You're right.
Peggle.
Yeah.
Peggle. No.
You could spell it Payggle.
Yeah.
Peggle,
I guess.
All right, everyone.
All right, bye.
We'll see you next time.